Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What's the deal, Panther fans? It's the C3 Panthers Podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Tonight's show, Panthers man up for mandatory minicamp. Bryce's best day running the offense. Deontay Johnson says, I'm always open. The thicker kicker remains perfect. And a thin defensive end group takes another hit. You're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast. My name is Tony Dunn, and each and every week I do it with my wheelman, Cody Lack. What's up, my friend?
Tony Dunn, there is nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than sitting here with you, man, hanging, talking Panther football. And, bro, we always have something to talk about, even when it seems like there's nothing to talk about. Minicamp is underway. Like you mentioned, a lot of real questions starting to raise their head at edge rusher. Bryce Young is starting to come into his own, depending on who you ask. And a former Panther player will be gracing the cover of Madden, but not as a Panther player, Tony Dunn. Listen, you already know that we do this with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know them and love them. We got our boy Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel in the building. What's up? Bob the Lorax, Brandon Malone, the brand ambassador, D's Ill Skills. What up, baby? Jake the Snake FU. What's up, brother? John B. Jenkins, Mossy Man 789 News, Tim Estes, and that boy White Chocolate Espresso. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number is 252-228-5098. We'd love for you guys to jump into the conversation. We're live on X. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And big shout out to all the people in the chat. Thank you for your time, attention, and being part of the C3 community, a.k.a. the C3 Legion, as these guys have made it into now. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. Let's welcome in the voice that makes a moist. CK, good to see you again.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, fellas. How's everybody doing this evening?
We are fantastic. And first, I got to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, CK.
Opera singer.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, he's got the birthday cake.
Look at him. Yeah. Was that key lime pie?
Cheesecake, brother.
Cheesecake.
Oh,
all right.
Choice, man.
I'm like the only Italian that doesn't like cheesecake.
What?
Yeah.
You don't like cheesecake?
Yeah, not really.
Bro, don't tell Muscles marinara, bro. You might
I know. It's like a sin in our culture. All right. You guys know what's the deal. Let's go ahead and jump into the show. A lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on. And look, I took a week off. Needed mental health for some different reasons, but I'm here back, ready to talk some Panthers football. Panthers man up for mandatory minicamp. And really, the biggest news, or at least we saw Dave Canales address the press today, and he said this was Bryce Young's best day running the offense.
Yeah, he did. This was Bryce's best day running the offense by a mile, according to some. Dave Canales, during the press conference today, gave his thoughts on Bryce and what he's doing well and how he is doing much better, taking command of the offense as a whole. Let's listen to our head coach.
Yeah, comfort and familiarity with our terms, with the plays. Today was by far his best day, just operating the offense. You know, the execution of the plays, defense makes plays too. But as far as like the getting out of the huddle, getting to the line of scrimmage, moving the shifts and motions, using the cadence, figuring problems out with the protections, this was a fantastic day for Bryce in understanding what we're trying to get done.
Dave, love it. Love that he's using his own cadences now. That was something that sort of bothered me last year. The center was the one doing the
Really?
Yeah, like Bryce was. Yeah, Bryce was never doing it. So I'm happy that he's taking more command And I mean, again, this is early. It doesn't matter for too much, but I like that he's happy with the progress that Bryce has seemingly made.
Certainly. And go ahead, CK.
I was going to say, I mean, it's a bit, if you want to read into it, he's not talking about his performance. He's talking about his running of the offense. That's basically the getting the play calls in, being quick and efficient. As you said, having the cadences and all that stuff. Like, he's got all of that down, but it sounds like the execution wasn't exactly up to par. When you have to say the words that, he said, when it comes to running it, he was great, but execution, let's just talk about the defense makes plays too. And so that tells me that it maybe wasn't as an efficient offense. It wasn't effectively being utilized against the Veros defense.
And the day ended with a Josie Jewell pick 6 on Bryce Young, going back the other way.
Well, I mean, hey, how can you not say that he was, perfect or flawless when you have a pick 6 to end the day? Look, here's a couple of things I'm thinking of right away when I hear this. And it's not a referendum or a celebration of Bryce Young in either sense. But last year when we drafted Bryce Young and we had this preconceived notion of this non-transition for Bryce Young to the NFL, we did hear some talk about him being louder and stronger in the huddle and some different things, like where Andy Dalton was encouraging him to do those things. Right. Some people talked about how potentially too much was put on Bryce's plate, or at least that they assumed that he would be too ready for some of this. And then the last point, though, is while there are flaws, while it's not a perfect day, we had a bunch of perfect days from him last year, and it didn't turn out to perfect games. So, it's like none of these things correlate necessarily to the season that's coming forward. But if you are talking about somebody who has a new head coach, a new offense, and you want to talk about progress and progression, and this is the type of news that you do want to hear, right? Now, are these guys just saying things to say things or whatever it may be? But these are the things we want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think CK made a good point, like taking command of the offense and making it run efficiently and run smooth. I think that's going to be important. And, a couple press conferences ago, Dave Canales really doubled down on that so much of the early process is just getting the guys to understand the playbook and getting them to the point where they can play fast once it's time to play real football. And that way everybody, knows where they need to be, that there's no confusion. And, dude, the quarterback is the maestro of the orchestra. So you're not ever going to have real efficiency until Bryce is the one making that offense so efficient. That's why we drafted him. It's looking as though we're finally putting him in a position to succeed. But so much of that is also based on the O-line play as well, Tony. Before I forget, I want to make sure that we rate the super chats. Larry GNC. Larry GNC with the $10.
Thank you very much,
Larry. CK, your boy. He says, happy birthday from down under, Dizzle.
Appreciate that, Spec.
$20. And why Big Jordan with the $1.99 says, happy birthday to the GOAT.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Wonderful stuff. You can support the C3 Panthers podcast by smashing the thumbs up button, subscribing, consider being a C3 super fan, a small way to keep building our community and helping our show grow. The more people that are part of that C3 super fan, and the more people watching continue to help us obtain sponsors, but also expand our community, get to more ears. Cody Lack, Deontay Johnson spent 9 minutes on the mic today.
Yeah, listen, one of the things that you will instantly notice about Deontay Johnson is that he does not lack for confidence. When you said on Bryce Young, on what he told Bryce Young, he says, just know I'm always going to be open. Look my way. And I'll be in the right spot. One, I love the confidence, but two, I'll be damned if we had anyone outside of Adam Thielen who was capable of doing that last year. This has been the type of player that we've really been wanting. And Tony, CK, you know that I have said that I think that him and Dave Canales as a player and a coach are a match made in heaven Before I get your responses, this is Deontay talking about his ability as one of the best separators in the NFL.
Make sure the volume's up.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I made the plays, and I did that. They seen the talent, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a diamond in the rough, and I'm just going to continue to keep elevating. And I carry that chip wherever I go because I still get overlooked. I feel like I don't get the respect I deserve sometimes, so that just makes me go harder. And I'm going to keep putting on film and proving the league that I'm one of the best separators out there.
So he sounds determined, pissed off, and it sounds like he has a point to prove. What say y'all?
Well, I think one thing is that narratives and being victims of it at times, narratives are created from the outside with sometimes rooted in little truths, right? And so this narrative that Deontay Johnson was, kind of selfish, frustrated. I mean, you get that one play where he doesn't, I guess, even try to tackle him. You pick these things, and then they balloon into this story and this picture. Now, we don't know Deontay Johnson from other than just meeting him and a couple of press conferences and some things like that, some of the things he said. But the Panthers needed a wide receiver, right? Going into this season, they needed at least one. They drafted one too. But Deontay Johnson, they got for a reasonable price, a really reasonable trade. And they got a guy too who is victim, or at least feels victim to an unworthy narrative. On top of that, he's seeing the opportunity right now as other wide receivers are really making their mark and get rewarded for it in this high passing NFL. He wants to get you have met potentially, maybe, and I don't want to just come out and say he's going to have 1,000-yard season, be awesome. I don't know, but you might have motivation and opportunity cross at the right point here in Carolina. Look, this team's better with Deontay Johnson than they were without him.
Oh, dude, without question. Another tidbit from the press conference was he said that he feels like Bryce is going through his reads and progressions even quicker because of the new additions in the wide receiver room.
Making his reads quicker, just having more receivers out there that can win, gives him more confidence out there. Play harder, smarter, when he's out rolling out or whatever, it gives him more confidence that everybody's gonna be in the right spot. So little stuff like that.
Well, that's good. You want to. Bryce is the type of quarterback too that benefits from that, or at least that's what we've imagined his skill set really excelling at, is not necessarily just overwhelming you with some sort of physical talent like a Cam Newton could, right?
Right.
But being cerebral, but knowing, like having that kind of intuition, that and those types of players, if Deontay Johnson is talking about those things right now, those are the type of players that I think could truly benefit Bryce Young. He was asked if what surprised him is is there anything that surprised him when he met Bryce Young? He talked about his handshake. He got a good man handshake.
Got that manly shake. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, if your quarterback has a weak handshake, you're like, oh, why did I fucking sign here?
Well,
dude?
the handshake is a funny thing because if somebody squeezes too early, you get screwed, right? Like you're going in to give a good handshake and they squeeze your fingers.
They squeeze your fingers.
Yeah, and you're like, I make people shake again like that. I'm like, nah, I can't walk away like that.
Yeah.
CK?
That's why the dap is better. I just wish that we would replace the handshake with the dap, and it serves two purposes. It's a little easier to do, and white people look a little cooler than black folk everywhere.
And sanitation, all right, some more sanitation. Or you could do the Roman handshake, where they grab forearm. You don't remember they grab? Forearms?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, CK. Isn't it suck to be victim of the early squeeze?
Yeah. I mean,
you got to get in there, like bam.
Yeah.
You got to be the first.
If you're not the first one, 100%, because it's impossible to get a grip strong enough to assert your dominance in a handshake.
I know.
If you're not the first one to get to that part, if they grab that just your fingers and start, it's like there's just no coming back.
Yeah, I make them redo it. And on top, speaking of Bryce Young. And did you guys see they talked about the team building exercise where they met with, and I'm not a racing guy enough. Somebody tell me the guys that had them that they went and did the
Hendrix Motorsports.
Hendrix. All right.
He met with Jeff Gordon and they took the pictures. And like Diesel Skills pointed out, watching Robert Hunt try and squeeze himself into a NASCAR is
that's
pretty hilarious.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, not necessarily made for guys Robert Hunt size,
So I was
and another 199 for CK, by the way, from YB Jordan. He said happy birthday.
I don't know why this is, but as soon as I saw that video, I'm like, why are they letting Bryce tug these? He can pull something. He can pull a rib muscle or something. I was like, why are they doing this? But you can't overprotect your children. Can't overprotect your children in this world.
That's right.
Dave Canales said that he liked to see the competitiveness that was brought out in that. I think that's awesome too, because I've never been into racing or even been to a race, but I got to imagine that not many of these guys are necessarily NASCAR fans. And it must be like them, like kids in a camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is wild.
Yeah.
So pretty cool stuff there. I'm always worried. Did you see? You guys might have talked about it in the last show.
I do have a video of it if you wanted to play it.
Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, play it. I wish I knew the person that tweeted this. This made me laugh.
So this is the video on Panthers.com.
As long as we do our job and we stick together within these walls, nothing can touch us.
Where he at? Where's Lightning McQueen at?
Lightning McQueen.
People. It's all about teamwork, and that's what we're trying to do today. I think there's a lot of similarities. The size of the guys, maybe we're not quite as big as.
Why does Andy Dalton look like he's meant to be there?
Very strong athletes. They got to be able to move laterally very quickly, get low to the ground, be able to be
hair look limish.
Very much like an NFL.
Come on, Shaq.
It's fourth and goal on the one. You either got to score or you got to get a stop.
Imagine Matt Rule trying to put that tire on.
I'd rather not. Okay, they're not going to show it in this one. How about the car, though? Fucking dope.
Yeah, super cool.
They didn't start getting in.
Yeah, they're not going to.
Wait.
NASCAR passenger seat rider. This is my first experience.
Yeah.
I never went that fast in my life. That was crazy. Once in a lifetime. Thank you, guys.
So there's this video, the one that was released that I saw on Twitter was when they were doing the competition and Bryce was running the tire over there. They put it on and they come back and they're watching the times. Right. And they're like, the tweet, albeit one of the things that somebody might talk about is this white girl who said anyway, but he's like, the person said the funniest part about this, he said, I can't stop laughing at Bryce keeps saying the N word.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even catch it the first time.
I went back and watched it just because of the tweet, and I was like, funny.
I didn't, yeah. Apparently, hey, a lot of people are like, "Hey, this is an example of Bryce maybe being in his bag, having some of that confidence." I mean, again, all of it's so superficial to me, but
no, you're just having fun. This is great. Like this is like
I got the video. I'll try and find it.
Nah, wait, no, it's okay. It's okay.
It is pretty cool though. I like to see them because it shows him put on the tire and everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's watch it then. Let's watch it. We're here for the fans.
Well, finish your thought now.
No, that was it. Is team building cool. I like the idea that Dave Canales could run that tire over there without dying. Our last two coaches would have died doing that. Right. One would have died physically from looking like a fool. Matt Fool would have. You remember the famous video of him doing the deep tackle bags or whatever, the hand drill and stuff like that? It's like, oh God, Frank Reich might have just died of old age right there. Right. So Dave Canales fit And you went back and, you see this is like, we might have the most fit front office and head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Evero is a beast. That guy looks super in shape. Our head coach is in shape.
Brad
Dan
Isaac was
Morgan
out
is
there
doing
running
calisthenics and riding a bike with his hoodie on still.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just say, we'll fight your front office.
Dude, Brad Isaac is even out there running around being a part of it.
Yeah.
So, I lied to you. I thought I had the video.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's keep going through. We're having fun with the show. Team building ourselves right here. Hi, Mom. She's in the chat. I love you. My mom won't eat cheesecake right now because she will not eat anything that has calories.
She was in the chat room last Tuesday, and I had to tell her, hey, Tony's got the night off tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So then she texted me and she said, why aren't you on the podcast? Why, Big Jordan? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We could all use that sometimes when.
So, Tony, are you ready to talk about one of the most exciting battles in Panthers?
Not yet. Not yet.
In the history of the Panthers?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I would rather just start
Look
by
down.
doing something
incredibly epic. We have joining us tonight, the one, the only, the Bat Daddy.
Hey, Bat Daddy!
Boom. What's up, fellas? What's going on,
Hey,
man?
and the mic wasn't muted.
Hey, I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, I finally got something right.
Hey,
Been away long
welcome.
enough. I should have got that right.
So many people have asked for you, Greg. So just know you're a man of great popularity. You are famous and infamous all in one.
Just about to say that. Yeah, so it goes both ways. But yeah, hey man, it's great to be back. You know what? I had some time tonight. CK, did I hear at the beginning of the show it's your birthday?
It sure is.
Happy birthday, brother. That's awesome. What a great
Wow.
night to come back on and say what's up, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I have not been paying attention to Panthers football that much. I checked out the draft. I've seen a little bit of news. I don't know a whole lot. I'm more here to react and hang out with my friends and talk some Panthers football. So
if you've been tuned out of the Carolina Panthers, then your mental health should be at an all-time high, I'm assuming.
it really is. To be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. Hey,
Yeah.
getting away from social media and Panthers football for a little while, taking a little breather has really, really done well for the mental status.
Did you see, and just speaking of getting away from social media and how the stress that comes with it. So, the Caitlin Clark stuff that's all going down, right? Pre-Olympics, pre-Olympics.
You can't get away from it if you try at this point.
But not even the Olympic discussion. Going back to, the players, they're talking about, like, the players are upset, and I don't even know the ins and outs of it, but there seems like they're like jelly that she's got, like, has brought so much attention. You saw that girl put hip checker, the kind of salty treatment and tough welcome to the league in some cases. So I saw this video and she was being interviewed and they asked her, like, how do you deal with the noise on social media? And she said, I don't have social media on my phone.
How great is that?
Right. She said, and look, if you're this type of person of that type of, imagine, I know we're asking everybody to look at us, but if everybody's always looking at you, you probably don't want to engage in it. But then, so she goes on to say, look, I can't help but see these things come. I watch television, I watch sports, and then you'll see stuff. So she's like, I'm not naive or unaware of these conversations that are going on, but I just try not, she said, I keep my focus on basketball. That's what I'm trying to do. I try not to mentally get engaged in this. And the first tweet I saw was, what a great example of white privilege this is, where you don't have to address the question. I was like, what? Well, she did actually address the question. Like, I didn't engage with the tweet. I wasn't going to put any mental energy into it. We make LeBron answer all these questions. We do this. I said, I was just thinking she actually did answer the question. Exactly. She said, how do you deal with it? She said, this is how I deal with it.
Yeah, if you actually listen to her interviews, and again, I know jack shit about basketball. I do know, however, that everybody's talking about the WNBA now more than ever before because of Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
And more eyeballs are being put on the other great WNBA players because of Caitlin Clark. That's why I just don't understand why it's so. I think it's a woman thing, man. I'm sorry to all the ladies. I think there's something that's a little bit catty about this. And I just I really think that in today's world, like with these stories where we just want to tear everybody down, there are opportunities to build everybody up, but instead it's become this weird man versus woman thing, and also this weird, like you alluded to, this weird racial proxy battle.
Right, that's a good way of putting it. A racial proxy battle.
Yeah, it's white privilege.
It's a proxy war.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't even have to be about any of that. There's incredible Black basketball players. Now you have this white girl that's like turning.
Oh, and then you got CK. The CK's guy called her a white bitch, and then had to go.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, and to be honest,
called her.
He did, and then he. But you know what? I would say stop apologizing for everything, folks. That's it. Being like is like,
100%.
And Greg, to me, I used to say this, and I know that I was a big Obama fan. Like he's like my favorite president of my lifetime. I love Obama. And then you got the dynamics of Trump after that and stuff. But I just remember everybody being on the right, being hypercritical of Obama for the smallest of small things, like his he's not wearing the pin on his lapel. He doesn't love him, And then the left did the same thing to the next president, where they were like, "Oh, he said this," and I say this when it comes to this: is save your outrage for real shit.
Yes.
It's like when we cry wolf, it's like crying wolf outrage, and then we get numb to the outrage.
Right. And then when the real shit happens,
we're like, we don't believe it.
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
Well, the problem is a lot of people have their own concept of what real is, and that's the issue, is everybody not agreeing on what real is. So it's tough to focus on the real issues when people can't even
figure out what
agree come to an agreement on what real is. Exactly.
Right. That's true. And I've listened to this book recently, and I know this is off topic in football, but it's called Think Again. It's just about changing your mind, right? Like when you should, like how changing your mind with new evidence and new experience is actually a good evolutionary trait. Like you are at a bigger advantage if you can be mentally nimble than other people. But the whole idea of the book is that like so many people refuse to just change their mind.
Yeah.
Right. About about it. Like even when there is information, like the mind is already made up. And now it's about just finding things that verify our opinion.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's preset positions about what people think and what you're supposed to do whenever you're coming to, like, I guess you would say, a debate. And I guess people don't realize that, like, when two people are debating, the two people that are debating, their job is not to convince the other person that they're right or wrong, because you're never going to do that. The job is to convince everybody else that's seeing or hearing this of your side. And that's spreading the knowledge. Because when you have two people that are going to debate about something, they're never going to agree. And you're never going to see that level of that. It's everybody else around that needs to take in the information. That's why debates and open dialogue and that kind of stuff is so good.
I recommend this book, Think Again. It starts out with this wild story. The last point, we're moving on. It starts out with this wild story about this idea in, I guess it would have been 1930s or 40s or something like this. And the idea that every wildfire in the great Northwest or whatever was a big threat to a giant fire. So they had these fire jumpers. So they would drop these guys out of airplanes and they would go out there and start working on the front lines to do this. Now we've revised our opinions because some small fires are good to clear away brush and different things like this. But these guys got caught up. They thought they were going to do this thing and they get caught, like they're going this way and then the wind changed or whatever. And it said it was going something like, it was like every minute the fire was going 100 yards.
That's wild.
Yeah. And these guys got caught too close and they're running, right? And running. They're trying to get back to this point. And it's crazy. They found only 2 of them survived out of the 15. and they found like 13, like some of them still had their saws, like their chainsaws with them. Like they have been trained. You never leave your stuff because that can help you. And these guys in the moment couldn't like change their mind about what they needed to do. And the one guy that survived, that like was the leader, and the other people didn't follow him. One guy just, I guess, didn't smoke cigarettes and just ran faster than everybody. But he started a little fire like around him, and then he just laid in a divot, and he did something that was different, right? And the whole book is about like that. Anyway, all right, change our mind about why we shouldn't want the thicker kicker.
Oh,
Change my mind.
Why would you not want the thicker kicker? Listen, this is the fourth week in a row that Harrison Mavis goes 5 for 5 in field goals. And Eddie Pinheiro, again. So this is the fourth week in a row. Now, a lot of people were like, well, wait a minute. Sheena reported that he had 2 doinks and that he missed one. And those were individual kicks. That was not in team period.
Okay.
So in team period, Harrison Mavis is indeed 5 for 5. So in my mind, this is already made up. I don't care if y'all think I'm putting the cart before the horse. Bat Daddy, I'm not even sure how aware you are of Harrison Mavis.
I'll find the picture of him.
Oh,
First time heard the name. Yep.
Oh,
you
my
heard
God.
of him?
So
Never heard of him.
Listen, he is an undrafted kicker from Mavis, Mevis, from way to go, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the SEC record for the longest field goal kick in SEC history. Hit a 60-yard game winner. He's like 265 pounds. Like the name that everyone has dubbed him is the thicker kicker. And this man is incredible, dude. And so far, he has been absolutely money in the team drills. Yeah, he's a big bad boy, man.
Big boy, yeah.
He's my man's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal out here.
Good God, made with dang heavy cream.
And right now, it's pretty clear that Pinheiro is holding out for more money. Like that's
the dumbest move you could make. Injury prone. Injury prone. Yeah, well, I mean, you could put the team in a tough position to go with a guy who's never been there, never done it.
Eddie Pinheiro's not injury prone, is he? Because he was replacing
I feel
Gonzalez.
like he's had like a hamstring too, and dealt with a groin. Remember the first week of the last year against Cleveland, he made it, and it was some sort of like little injury. Maybe not injury. I
don't remember Pinheiro having much of an injury history, but I mean, it's still, I mean, the issue here is that you're not. People are getting stuck on the fact that his stats have him listed as one of the best kickers in the entire NFL.
It's so stupid.
And it's similar to the argument that you have about the defense being a top 10 defense. It's all fool's gold. It's not real. And right now, I think we just need to. I mean, I'm surprised he's actually holding out. Like this seems like an interesting decision that is not going to end well based on what's happening here, especially given the fact that he was never considered like a great kicker, even when he was. And so I feel like what he did for us is going to be easily replaceable.
I agree.
The only thing, and the team clearly didn't have much of a value on him because otherwise they would have probably already paid him already, or they wouldn't be going with an undrafted free agent.
Didn't they give it? Was it him or Zane Gonzalez they gave the deal to? I thought they did pay him a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they paid Zane. Let
me see. I'll look at
I have one real quick clip of Dave Canales. He talks a little bit about Pinheiro and Mavis. Then I'll let Bat Daddy jump in on this. And I find it funny how
he is only on a 2-year, $4.1 million contract. That might be right.
Whenever they ask Dave Canales about Eddie Pinheiro, he always brings up Harrison Mavis unprompted.
Coach, Eddie was here today after missing a lot of the voluntary OTAs or whatnot, but he did not kick. Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to check with Tracy just to see where he's at. Maybe just a conditioning thing or something like that. But Harrison had another good day, kicked it hard. It was great to see Eddie today. Got a chance to kind of hang with him a little bit, and We actually had run into each other in the past. We have a mutual friend, so it was kind of cool to just, get to know him and really just welcome him into what we're doing here. He's been here, before I got here, but certainly with this, new coaching staff and everything, it was really good to just be able to connect with him.
To me, that's a subtle way of saying, "Hey, bro, you ain't ours."
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I think some ways it's too is like, what the hell am I supposed to say about it? And on top of that is, these are things you run into as a head coach. Like, you're going to run into something like this every season, whether it be injury or holdout or whatever. Like, hey, let's not stress. Let's keep going with the guys we got. And look at this big ass mofo right here. We could always, the thing about having Mevis on the team is like, you could always, like, if you needed like an emergency guard or something.
just somebody to plug a hole. Yeah.
No lie.
Well, hey, two things.
O-line package, put Mevis in.
One thing I noticed about that, did he have a slip up in that little snippet we saw just there? Because he says at the beginning that he didn't know about Panero not kicking, and he had to find out about that. And then, like, literally 20 seconds later, talks about, I saw him today. It was good to hang out with Eddie. Welcome. And I'm like, wait a second.
Wait, like, you didn't ask him?
If
like,
you saw him
why
today, how did you not know he was kicking? Yeah, I think he might have had a little slip up there. And honestly, I think that Why Big Jordan in the chat has nailed it. Panero has a limited leg.
That's really his limitation.
Average kicker. He's not a bad kicker, average kicker, and he's easily replaceable. Sorry, go ahead.
But people will put his stats up as being like, but we can put Graham Gano's stats up as being fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, and by the way, like, I don't care if he's like the third all-time most accurate kicker. Yeah, if he's at 35 yards, it was like great.
And not kicking extra points.
Yeah, dude, we want the guy that has the leg that can actually hit the 60-yarder, who, by the way, has already done it multiple times in team drills.
Because to be honest with you, can't almost every NFL quarterback be about 80 to 90% from 40 yards in?
You mean kicker or kicker?
Yeah, kicker. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, they should be, or they shouldn't be in the NFL. They won't be in the NFL long. If they're inside 40, it should be automatic, pretty much.
Exactly. And I think most of them are. You don't really hear of a lot of kickers that miss a ton of field goals.
I think when we start getting to like 44, you're like, oh God, like this is it's stuff like this is 40 and below. If you're not making that, and look, I've always been confused by how difficult it is to find kickers, because there's only 32 positions, 32 kickers in the league. So it's not like there's 900 position groups, right? Or you're like number 68th in the league. It's like, these are like, we can't find one more dude on the planet.
Are you saying that it's the easiest entry-level NFL position that somebody can go for?
I just think it's crazy that there aren't more people that are viable.
Yeah, I agree. And plus,
I would never be able to do it. I promise you that, because
look how many teams roll through kickers multiple times a year. Like, look how many times
you got to have. Yeah, it's all about the head. I could never do it because I used to be in this bowling league, and I wasn't a great bowler. But every now and then I would get a cooking. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all right. But I tell you, man, if game on the line, I'm choking. I was just straight, oh, God.
Honest,
worst throw of the night is like pressure on. You know what I'm saying? Is so.
But can I add something?
It's probably more mental than physical, to be honest.
But can I add something to Bat Daddy's point? If Dave Canales saw Eddie Panero and didn't ask why he isn't kicking, maybe he just didn't fucking care. Maybe he's already of the mindset
maybe like after practice.
Maybe it's like, dude, I don't even need to rush you into kicking right now. I have the young guy that's continuing to do well, and you got to be here for training camp anyway. Like, there's no reason for
let's
him
not
to even
feed into your money battle right here. I'm not your patsy or your.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to even inquire about it, let alone actually say something to the media, which we all feel is true. The Panthers do not want to pay Eddie Panero.
Forest City Kitty says, I feel your pain, Tony, with the bowling thing. Last frame, got to just pick up this shit in the bed.
Now, Cody, I got to say, if he's doing it like that, where he's basically just giving Pinheiro the big middle finger and being like, "Look, you want to get paid and you don't want to show up. You're easily replaceable." That's a pretty solid move. I kind of like that.
Yeah, right.
It's
want
ballsy.
that.
It's ballsy, but it's a solid move.
You know what is Pinheiro needs Canales more than Canales needs Pinheiro.
100%.
You know, so like let's
100%.
remember the power dynamics in this relationship. Little Pinheiro Eddie, little Eddie.
Yeah. And also, people still
with his funky haircut.
It's funny, Tony, because one of the things that everybody holds against Eddie Pinheiro is the game against Atlanta, where he lost
week 1.
That game, when PJ Walker threw the long bomb to DJ Moore, and DJ Moore took off his helmet. It was like.
That was week 2. Was it week 2? It was early in the season because we had lost to the Browns.
I think it was a game that we had lost a few before.
That
goes back to Steve Wilkes. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it
was Steve Wilkes had already become the head coach, and the whole helmet thing happened, and he missed. But I remember there was like a story of Eddie Pinheiro before the game, like on his phone recording instead of practicing kicks. And I was trying to find it. And I went back to the post-game show that we did after the game. Bro, what a discussion that was.
Was it?
You were dying on the hill that the kicker doesn't win or lose the game.
Oh, yeah. We're not getting into that.
Meanwhile, me, Greg, and CK are like shouting at you at the top of our lungs. Eddie Pinheiro lost that game, dude.
He did.
And the reason I bring all that up is because there's a lot of things like that Panther Nation hasn't forgiven Eddie Pinheiro for. And
he's
on
not
top of
beloved by any means.
Yeah,
in fact,
and
people
you're going to ask for money on top of it. It doesn't ingratiate him to anyone.
Even better, if Pinheiro makes that kick that year, don't we make the playoffs?
Oh, somebody just put it in.
One game short of the playoffs that
Mortensen just put it in the chat. He said Eddie was the reason we didn't win the division in 2022. Yeah. I bet you. I just think this is every time I see this dude, as I go, you're the only person that has a comb over and a buzz cut at the same time. Like, how does he have one? It's like, why is it combed over to the? Good God! I was like, oh, I can't even look at that haircut.
Child actor, like child actors. It's weird.
All right, so but this reminds me a little, not a lot. What I don't know is. I just go back to this. I just keep going back to Harrison Butker, and I hated Graham Gano. Harrison Butker was killing it in training camp, and the team got cold feet with the veteran.
Yes,
right. Is this the moment that
another kicker than Harrison?
If we sign the thicker kicker, does it rid us of the Harrison Butker curse?
Yes,
maybe.
His name is Harrison. Oh. Both of their names are Harrison.
Oh, that's like the Bruce Wayne Clark Kent moment.
Oh my God!
This is how you lift the curse.
Yeah,
this is how you do it.
I think this is now it has to happen for me.
Yes.
That was, I had no dog in the fight until this moment, but we just decided now that fate has said this is the only way. And was it the Harrison Butker year, the year that Carolina's problems just started, the 6 years of losing and all of the
2017, right?
I don't even remember.
My God, dude.
We've uncovered it on the C3 Panthers podcast, the Harrison Butker curse. Get Eddie Pinheiro in the kitchen and make my man Harrison Mevis a meal.
Sandwich. Make my man a sandwich, bitch. Back in the fucking kitchen. No, we really didn't crack the code, boys. We can turn.
That's a big deal.
We can turn our fortunes upside down by breaking the Harrison curse.
Yes.
Oh, dude, and that's how it's pointing, man.
Right now, you've uncovered it.
Clip.
You heard it here on the C3 Panthers podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Sub up, check us out on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, hit the retweet the button. If you're on YouTube, smash that thumbs up button, maybe even share. You hit share and you put it on a social media platform like Facebook, which we're also live on. Thank you for your support, guys. Let's do this. How about we take a call?
Let's do it.
And then we'll get to the defensive end talk.
I like that.
Oh, let's do it. The number is 252-228-5098. Let your voice be heard on the longest running Panthers podcast in all of the world, dude. Let's go.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Never mind.
What's good, guys? This is Dave.
Oh,
and I'm
brand
trying to get in my
ambassador.
cat call. This is the first day of Panthers minicamp for all these young Panthers players and veterans alike. They're all gathered together here to see what's going to happen for the Carolina Panthers this season. I know there might not be a lot of expectations that are high for the Carolina Panthers this year, but I want to say there are high expectations for the C3 Panthers podcast. And I've told myself multiple times not to make these calls when I'm charged up and fired up about the C3 Panthers podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast. And I feel like tonight was the one time I should take my shot. I should go ahead and talk about C3 and talk about the longest running Carolina Panthers podcast and talk about how we are changing things within the community of C3. The C3 Legion has had great success. We found new members like D Money and C3 JJ. Anthony.
I got him on screen right
now. We got
now.
Panther Pickle. We got Kevin. We got all the old school guys. We got new guys too. We got Strats. We got Jake. All these people that want to contribute to the C3 Panthers podcast. There's so many of us. And I know I'm leaving some names out. And that's fine. The point I wanted to make that having all these different guys that are charged up about the Carolina Panthers and they're excited to be a part of the longest running Panthers podcast. And we're all together in one place on the C3 Legion space. We're all here on Monday nights and Thursday nights. I run a short show on Tuesday from 8 to 9. It's the C3 Legion warm-up. You guys can join that and be a part. Make yourself an X account or a Twitter account, whatever you want to call it. Come in and join and be a part of the conversation. There's so many people on YouTube that haven't joined and transitioned over to Twitter to be a part of what we're doing. And
Nova Black
over there. And these are great discussions about the Carolina Panthers. We do a deep dive into the Carolina Panthers depth chart. You know, we have special guests like Cody that comes on and is a part of the conversation. Tony's on there too. You know, we're looking forward to having more guests on the show. Even John Ellis joined in one time.
Nice.
Like it's gotten out of hand on what the C3 Legion has been able to accomplish. And we see more people that are already a part of the C3 Panthers podcast, more people that already care about this community and what we're building for the Panthers. It's going to be a great thing. The Panthers may not be good right now, but damn it, one day we're going to be there. And all of us friends here at C3 can celebrate and be a part of the glory. And you can join in too, and I invite you to do that. And join us each and every Monday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. on the C3 Legion Spaces. Keep pounding.
Yeah. You see why we call him the brand ambassador?
I don't even pay him.
Yeah, he's the man.
I don't even pay
Everybody loves D's. He's the man. He gets everybody amped up. And bro, he's getting everybody to rock C3, baby. He's out here.
He's right about the community growing. He's right about the relationships that are being made and forged. And to me, the negative pushback sometimes that we get is a sign of it, because there are people out there that are like, they first classify everybody. Like, it's like, C3 says that C3 says. I'm like, dude, it is all of us, bro. But
that's what I'm saying.
People are noticing. People are noticing. And we've been building a strong foundation for a long time. We're looking for the right season for it to just catch wildfire to where we got to run like that dude up the hill shedding our chainsaw to try to survive.
It's gonna happen too. I believe it. It's gonna happen, man. But shout out to D's, man. We appreciate everybody that spends your Tuesday nights hanging out with us. Even if you're not listening to this on Tuesday night, if you're in your truck the next day, driving, doing your thing and listening, we appreciate y'all. To everybody that hangs out with us on the Friday Free for All, we have 4-hour discussions on a regular basis.
I know, it's insane.
Every Friday at 7 p.m., man. Literally anyone and everyone can join and be a part of the conversation. And again, this is just the off-season stuff. Then once the season gets here, we're hitting these post-game shows.
They're going to be wild bananas.
Those therapy sessions that we're so famous for, you're going to need them. We have a lot going on this year. C3 is where you want to be. We got that community you want to be a part of, baby. That's it.
Big shout out to one of the OGs, Nova Black, in the house.
Nova Black
announced, I think it was the Kelvin Benjamin pick.
Oh, Brian Burns.
I always get it wrong. Brian Burns pick. Remember, he announced it at the stadium. That was a fun moment for the C3 Panthers. NFL
And
draft party.
The first post game that we did at my house, Nova was over here.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, when y'all went to, I gotta find that video, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Anthony and Charlotte.
Yo. What's up, C3? It's Anthony
What up,
from
man?
Charlotte. Hope y'all boys are having a good Tuesday. Man, I've been so busy, I didn't even know it was Tuesday, to be honest. But I decided to call in. Just wanted to talk about some stuff. Cody put some thoughts in my head really today, man. On the timeline. I wasn't gonna call in about anything in particular, but there's been a lot of injuries so far.
Great
Xavier
segue.
gets out right now, which I know, maybe it's not a long-term injury, but it sucks when these rookies can't get these reps in, day-to-day practices with the veteran players. Jonathan Brooks is out. You got DJ Wonham, who's injured. Another guy, edge rusher, got injured, I think. So really, right now, our edge rushing room is just Jadeveon Clowney, and that's it. And Cody was proposing the question of, hey, we got to be worried about this edge room. And he was one of the people last year, and he admits that he was, wrong about this. When me and JJ and some people were warning others about the wide receiver room and how we thought it was a bottom 5 unit, and the argument was, well, they need to prove themselves to us, blah, 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 and I think they will. And we were saying, well, as of right now, that's where we're ranked. Like, I think the ranking's right. We were a bottom 5 wide receiver core last year, and in the preseason predictions, that's where we were as well. But in correlation to this, there's a lot of people freaking out about the edge rushing room. And yes, you should be freaking out. I like the Jadeveon Clowney signing because I think he's closer to a player or can be just as good as Brian Burns in the right scheme. But remember, with Brian Burns or not Brian Burns, our edge rushing room wasn't good last year anyways. What we really gained this offseason was the run-stopping defense. So I think the defense will be better in that aspect. But that's not the point. My point is, guys, we're going to have holes on this team. There's going to be things that people are going to be worried about. But this offseason, the whole plan was to make the offense better, and we had to sacrifice some things from doing that. We filled a couple Band-Aids on defense, and we put most of our chips on the offensive line. We spent heavy money there, traded for a receiver, drafted one. So I'm just saying, hey, guys, don't set your expectations too high to the point where you're going to start worrying about all these little things. It's going to be a building process. So don't get upset that our edge rushing room may not put up stats this year. That's just the reality. Give me your thoughts, Anthony from Charlotte.
Yeah, listen, shout out Anthony. I did put this on Twitter today, and this is what he's talking about that prompted the discussion. I said, if you're not paying attention to this Panthers team and you're not worried about edge rusher, then you're not paying attention to this Panthers team. Because, boy, it's like we're in the middle of the season with how we're racking up these injuries at defensive end or outside linebacker, edge, however you want to classify it. And you're right, Anthony. Last year, I didn't believe y'all. I didn't believe y'all when y'all were saying that this is statistically and on paper the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. And I was too optimistic. I was wrong. But now I feel like I've learned my lesson. We have people like Kev who say that the defense is going to be even better this year than it was last year. And I've had questions about that. But, boys, now that Anthony brought it up, we can sort of delve into it even further. We are injured at edge right now, man, and they keep on happening to us. So today, actually, let's work backwards a little bit. So Ikuleota,
I don't know who that.
So
I don't know who that is.
Ikuleota was a standout. He was a standout edge rusher in training camp last year. He didn't do much during the season, but he sort of got injured. Then today, we had DJ Johnson carted off the field. I actually have the video.
Oh, well, don't forget, Wanham has been dealing with a new free agent that was in some ways signed to replace the position of Brian
and his
Burns.
is even more worrisome because this is complications from a quadricep surgery. So
is
he already got
in your thigh, your quadricep.
Your quadricep.
Yeah, quad. Your quads.
Yeah,
so he's got a thigh injury.
He's had some complications from that, right? So we're already down EJ Wanham. Jadeveon Clowney hasn't really been practicing or doing anything. And again,
which is fine.
Yeah,
he doesn't even. You know what? He's early. The fact that he's on a team right now is early to the party. Right. Usually, he hasn't even signed yet.
And by the way, this is what he does every year. He never shows up to this shit for any of the teams that he's been on. But then today, this happened, and this has sort of been like the button that kind of has caused me to really start to panic about edge rusher even more. DJ Johnson being carted off the field, back to the locker room, had his knee bandaged up. Again, it didn't look crazy serious, but I mean, again, we haven't even started the season, and we already have these injuries starting to rack up on us. And it really makes you wonder, well, what are we going to be rushing the passer this year? And if we don't run, or if we're not,
we were already wondering that before,
right? And we were at the bottom of the league last year. Now you lose Brian Burns. You bring in a bunch of new players. Some of your younger guys are already being hurt. I think that if you're a Panthers fan watching this, you should be a little bit concerned. I know it's early, but to me, it says that not only do we not have a lot of talent starting, there's not a lot of depth either. And we're depending on a bunch of no-name guys who have yet to prove themselves to step up in a big way and do something. Now, maybe they do. But as of right now, you're doing a lot of wishing and hoping. That's all I'm saying.
The silver lining, I guess, to this is that the Wanham and DJ Johnson, to most people been calling these guys bums anyway.
Yeah. Well, DJ Johnson's a second-year guy. I believe Amari Barno is going on his, I believe, third year. Third or fourth, one of those.
Matt Rule pick, I believe.
Yeah. D Money on the free fall was very optimistic that one of these guys would be able to turn it on and actually surprise and impress. That's really what we're hoping for. But I don't know, Tony. It's like I'm just looking at this, and it just feels very concerning that we already had questions, and now there's even more questions popping up by the day, it seems like.
Well, and look, I'll take the injury today instead of in training camp, particularly for some of these guys, right? They talked about Xavier Legette, no need to rush a guy back at this time. Yeah, to see if he's okay, particularly with these kind of injuries that generally, like a hamstring injury, you know what I'm saying, is that's the one they bring you back 2 weeks early and then it turns into 6 more weeks or something. So if the timing is like, if we're injured now, I'd rather have that than the start of the season.
100%.
The questions about the defensive line are real though, right? I mean, those are without a doubt when these guys are healthy. And I just would continue to say is that the Panthers didn't invest in the defense this year. They're hoping that the defense will be able to play well or, show up. But really, all eyes are on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know this sucks, but it's a lot better than hearing a name on the offensive line going down with a knee injury to me.
Yes, especially if it was one of those new guards.
Yeah.
If it was one of them, this would feel a lot more, problematic. I mean, we were going to have issues with the, edge rusher even before these guys have been getting hurt. So, I mean, it sucks because we are getting thinner and thinner, but at the end of the day, I'm not.
We were already panicked.
Yeah, it's not like it's DJ, or it's not like it's Deontay Johnson, which would be a panic situation entirely.
Right.
Well,
I agree.
That's funny you say that right at the end too, because what I was going to say is like with this whole situation, I feel the exact same with them being injured as I did beforehand. There's nothing that I don't mean that they mean, but I mean there's nothing they've proven to me. So I don't expect anything out of them. I'm truly at that point, and it's just funny you said Deontay Johnson, the wide receiver, because I have questions about. I know you guys were talking about him at the beginning of the show before I hopped on.
Mm-hmm.
I have questions about if that guy's got anything. He had one good season, and then
you're right. It was
two really bad ones after that.
Yeah.
Not just decent ones, really bad ones after that.
But then I mean, like if you were imagine the Pittsburgh Steelers version of this podcast, they're like, well, yeah, Kenny Pickett out there, like is all these if ands.
But there's also him like not blocking on run plays, like him just very visibly, like almost standoffishly, just not doing anything to block during the play. That's why I think he was just done with the coaching staff up there. I'm hoping that Dave Canales and Deontay Johnson are that perfect combo for each other at the right time.
Yeah.
Is that Deontay Johnson needs to prove himself right now, to Greg's point, because he really only has that one good season. He has a brand new opportunity to do so. And you have a first year head coach who needs to make a splash right now, who knows that everyone doubts him and everyone doubts this team more than 31 other NFL teams. So
I tell you, the sad part about this is DJ Johnson comes in as a rookie who had a lot of noise around him, not in a good way, but because of the trade up, the surprise that he was the guy, all of these different things. And then you have these videos of him just getting worked in these drills in camp, and then Panther fans are just dumping on him for being the biggest bust and the reason Scott Fitter is a dumbass and all of this stuff. I hate it for a guy like DJ Johnson who was trying to make it in the league and trying to, have an opportunity in these different things, and injury, you can't, so hopefully it's a minor thing. Hopefully he can, rehabilitate, rest up, maybe non-surgical, hopefully, and needed to be, because if it's surgical, you go ahead and write it off, folks.
Right.
Not that he is like over or anything like that, but don't expect him anytime soon.
Didn't we see something? Somebody posted in one of our C3 chats that reports are he'll be ready for training camp.
Good. Maybe just like a minor sprain or something like that.
Wait, who we talking? Wait, which one? Which player?
DJ Johnson.
Yeah, DJ Johnson.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about.
Somebody posted a screenshot in our in one of the C3 chats we have on X. And it was like a screenshot of like Pro Football Focus or something like that, saying sources are saying that he'll be ready for training camp.
Big shout out to Lynn Leonhardt, who's in the chat. Good to see you again. I hope all is well with you. She says, do you think there will be the same team bonding this year at training camp versus going to Spartanburg? I mean, obviously these guys are going to be able to go home and sleep in their beds, which a lot of them like to do. I mean, that was kind of the weird part about Spartanburg, is like you make these dudes stay in a college dorm. There was like, they're bringing in mattresses from Charlotte companies and stuff, which is fine and stuff. So a lot of the pros, especially the vets, are like, yuck, I got to go stay here. I got curfew and things like that. But she does raise a good point, is there is a lot of Panther players have talked about the camaraderie that was developed in that kind of forced moment of bonding there in a town like Spartanburg. All they can do is go out to dinner and then come back and play some video games or something. I don't really know, Lynn. It's like, we don't even really know what training camp. I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, we're worried that it might not actually happen this late in the, as close to it. I doubt that they're going to pull the trigger on getting rid of it this year.
Yeah, they can't. What do you mean get rid of it? You mean to the public?
Yeah, to the public.
We better have training camp. Imagine
imagine
first day. Good luck, bro. Oh God.
But maybe she has a point though, in terms of they're not doing the dorm thing anymore.
Yeah,
like being in that kind of almost college, or literally a college-like environment.
Yeah,
it is a part of that team building, and the fact that you're going away from home too, I think is like it detaches you away from your normal routine, right? Like, all right, we're going to Spartanburg. You're putting yourself
Only
into football mode. Right. Whereas
you don't have to worry about your kids when you go home.
Yeah. Whereas now there is a point to be made that, well, you're going back home every single night. Now, a lot of other great NFL teams do this and don't have a problem. But there is something to be said, I think, about that camaraderie building that would probably be lacking.
Well, that's what we were what we leaned into, right? When we talked about Spartanburg was that opportunity. It wasn't too far so their families could come and you see them in some different things. It is going to be in Charlotte. The question just that we're interested in, the Atlanta Falcons are not going to be having theirs open to the public this year. We're interested if the Carolina Panthers, particularly because of the limited accommodations that they're going to have, given the fact they don't have a training facility. Where aren't that, man? We did a show a few weeks ago on this. Is like, can they even get that damn practice facility or whatever it was up and running by the time training camp? So there are some I think the real question is logistically. I don't think the Panthers necessarily are maybe interested in saying like we want to go no people public to the training camp, but logistically they might not be able to.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of wanting to not have the public there. I do agree. I think if they don't do it, it's going to be because of the inability, just not having the facilities ready, as you alluded to. So
y'all know what the real issue is, right?
What?
It's we broke training camp. C3 showed up last year and they were like, "Oh, we can't have this, y'all. We can't have this." And they're just like, "We can't do it. Can't do it."
Too much sponsor subs out of control here.
We
can't monetize this. The C3 Panthers podcast has got a bigger audience than them team.
Yeah, like there was too
Look
much
at this drone
handsome
footage they got.
There was too much handsome between the four of us. Everyone kept on. Nobody was watching practice because everybody kept coming up to us. Oh, C3.
What am I tell myself?
Speaking of a long-term listener and member of the C3 family, witness the Walker Wonder.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's John B. Jenkins, and it's only Wednesday. I don't even know if this call is going to make it to the Tuesday show, but I'm in the middle of watching Blueprint, and I think I've got 10 minutes left, but holy crap, I'm psyched. I mean, I know this is what happens every year, but I feel like this guy is different. He doesn't feel like a snake oil salesman like Rule did. He doesn't feel like you kind of knew he was probably too old, like we did with Frank Reich.
Mm-hmm.
The guy just seems genuine, and then that It guy seems genuine. I don't know, that it just seems like a good combo. But is
they're
it
best friends?
Me, or have we never seen any ever like video or emotion of Ejiro Avero?
Nah, he is cold as ice, bro.
No, I mean, the dude looks intense. I mean, he looks like he can coach. No wonder they say he's so good. And hey, how cool was it to still see Dom Capers in the room? I mean, to still have the old coach in the room and having something to do with it, I just think that's really cool. But I don't know. I got 10 more minutes to watch this thing. It might just turn out to suck, but I think from what I've seen so far, this is going to be a fun team to watch. I mean, hell, if I'm rooting for some stupid team in Poland, then I can definitely have a good time rooting for my team, the Carolina Panthers. And I'm psyched, y'all. So keep pounding. Keep pounding Carolina Panthers. Of course, keep pounding Rosslav Panthers. And keep pounding C3.
Wait, did I get it wrong? Is he not the witness to Walker Wonder?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
So did
remember
you
he won the jersey?
Yeah, dude, that was
Okay.
incredible. Dude, he just won a jersey, a witness, or he won a PJ Walker jersey. Who is more deserving of winning a PJ Walker jersey?
Nobody on this earth.
Bro, that's how you know some things in life.
Ejiro Evero looks like a guy that they should send in to interrogate terrorists.
Magic is real. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
yeah.
I say send Evero in to break terrorists. And he he's like one of those guys that doesn't talk and you just like spill the gut beans anyway.
How about this? The only reason why I have any kind of hope in the defense is because of Ejiro Evero right now. Like the fact that he's
done a good job. He's done a pretty good job. Well, only 1 year with us, right? Last year. No, 2 years. Because he didn't he? No, he came.
Last
year.
year.
Last year was his first year. And he didn't have a lot to work with.
But even when he was in Denver, like he's really had a history of like kind of making lemons into lemonade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like that we have someone that can sort of use a bunch of different pieces and doesn't necessarily need that elite defensive player, although I'm sure he would love to have one, you know.
All right, let's go to my bastard son.
Yo, it's White Chocolate Espresso. Hey, listen, I'm calling in because Cody's got his hand on the panic button, and someone needs to take his hand away. Smack that shit. Stop that, Cody. It's fucking June. We're not even in training camp yet. Worry about this pass rush saying it's worse than last year. Last year we had 27 sacks. That's tied for the third worst in franchise history. If you take away the extra game that the NFL gave all the teams, we have 24, which is the second worst in franchise history. The worst in franchise history is 23 in 2007. So you're telling me that the pass rush we have right now is worse than the third worst passing rushing defense in Panthers history? Calm your tits. It's fucking June. Like, yeah. That's all I got. Calm your tits and calm your tits.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to John Jenkins again. Probably got a European football update for us.
And don't tell me to calm my tits.
Hey, C3. This is John B. Jenkins bringing you the weekly update on the European League of Football and your Wrocław Panthers.
Yeah.
The Panthers faced a tough battle against the Vienna Vikings, but unfortunately they came up short, losing 13-16. Despite early signs of promise, some questionable quarterback play, and perhaps a mix of bad play calling, which led to 2 safeties. However, there were standout performances. David Brzezowski, our exceptional running back, continued to shine. Linebacker A.J. Whitland proved why he's one of the league's best, ranking 3rd overall in tackles. But unfortunately, we still lost, and now the Panthers are at 1-2. So, after the game, we've had a change in quarterback. Steven Duncan is out, and just recently he got picked up by the Madrid Bravos. Now we've signed John Uribe, who was the quarterback of the Panthers the last few games of last season. Other than that, I have done a little bit of research on some of the sponsors for the Panthers Wrocław. I saw KFC on their jersey, and yes, that is indeed Kentucky Fried Chicken in Poland. They have a few changes. For one, they don't serve biscuits at all. They serve French fries, or I think they call them fries. And then you can get
That's a good point. What do they
call
wrap,
them? Chips, maybe?
And a halloumi sandwich.
A salami sandwich.
So, other than that, that's your update for the European League of Football, the Panthers Wrocław, and Polish Kentucky Fried Chicken. Stay tuned for more updates next week when the Panthers face the, let's see, who are we? Oh, the Frankfurt Galaxy, which I think Jake Delhomme may have played for, or that may have been the Amsterdam Admirals back in NFL Europe. But anyway, keep pounding Carolina Panthers, keep pounding Wrocław Panthers, And
Keep
keep
pounding.
pounding C3. John B. Jenkins out.
Greg, you haven't heard this, but
Hämmere weiter. Hämmere weiter.
that's keep pounding in German.
Mm.
Yeah, we're playing in Germany. That's fine.
Can I just say though, this might be controversial, might not be. Fried chicken has to be the most popular food in all the world. Nothing is more popular than fried chicken.
That is controversial.
I don't know,
I'm not
man.
gonna debate that.
Pizza's pretty popular.
I was gonna say like bread.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
probably
but okay,
right.
but you can do without bread. I'm saying most.
What you can't do? I was watching
most meat-eating people. If you offer them fried chicken, the majority of people in the world are gonna be like,
yeah.
fuck
I mean,
yeah,
it's good. It really is good, folks. It's terrible
it's
for you.
delicious. Yeah.
Terrible for you.
But I mean, the world over, like every culture has their own iteration of fried chicken.
You're right about that. You're right.
Yeah.
In some
Like,
form,
not
of
everyone
fashion.
has
not our form where we're like deep
Like,
frying
not
the whole
everyone,
bird.
not everyone has their own pizza or their own sushi or their own fucking tacos.
That's a
or
great
whatever,
point.
you know?
That's a
Yeah.
great point. I like it. Is everybody has some sort of fried chicken, whether it be lightly breaded or
Yeah, man.
extra crispy. Either way,
Most popular.
somebody
food in
I
the
was
world.
talking to said that, and I don't know if it was
Jordan dumb as hell.
I don't know if it was KFC, but they were like, if you go eat, they have a KFC. My boy goes to Rwanda. They have a KFC in Rwanda, right?
Damn! Oh, just for a KFC, he goes all
No,
the
he
way to
doesn't
Rwanda?
go. No, he goes every summer for he works at this
I'm like,
college.
damn, they
there,
must have a banging ass KFC
but I
down
think he
there in
was like,
Rwanda.
it tastes the exact same, right? Like, I mean, yeah, no salami sandwich, but like, I guess if you go to a McDonald's somewhere with I don't know if it would be exactly the same, particularly because of some of the rules that Europe rightfully has on meats and things like that and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But he was like, recipe cross the ocean, brother. I think it was the guy that my buddy Wes. All right, let's go to D in Sanford.
D.
Yo, my C3 family. D,
What up, D?
Sanford, North Carolina. Shout out to the great Tony Dunn, to the homie Cody Lack. Happy birthday, CK Cole Thistle. Panther Pickle shit to hell up. My man D skills. That's my brother from another mother. Cody, the whole C3 Nation, C3 Legion. We got the mini camps here. And like how I loved, we had Deontay Johnson matched up with JC Horn, got the pass interference, but that's that iron sharpening iron. I loved what Dave Canellis was talking about. You ain't got to just destroy the man that's across from you, but you got to be the best you can be that day, which is going to make him the best. And like I believe in that iron sharpen iron, people. I'm back to that foundation again, them bricks being laid. That's that winning culture that we're talking about. That's that Panther that we're talking about, where we're going to keep pounding. You got Deontay Johnson, who say he's there for Bryce. You got Miles Sanders, who's ready to have another step. Xavier Leggett ready to get down. Big old Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, Derek Brown, and all them ready to get right. Prayers out there to DJ Johnson. Hopefully he ain't hurt too bad. But at the end of the day, we're coming. And all I got to ask, are you ready? In my Triple H, are you ready?
Ready.
We back, baby. Keep
pounding. Yo, shout out my dog D, man, and spreading that optimism all throughout Pantherland. He's been one of the most optimistic members that we got, man. He really believes that this team can do some big things this year. And you need that, man. You need people to believe that this team can surprise us, man. Because if not, then what are we hoping for? What are we doing? So,
right.
Shout out to D, man.
Let's see what we got here. Short call.
What's up, boys? I just want to say from out here in Idaho to hear my fucking four horsemen, all their voices at the same time. You guys could read the fucking Catawba County phone book right now, and I will be listening in.
Hell yeah.
Fucking A. Love you guys.
Greg, I told you people missed you, man. I told you people missed you. All right, Cody, those are all the calls for right now. Let's keep going with what else. I think, what's next on the show here?
So yeah, this is interesting, right? Jadeveon
we were
Clowney.
talking about defensive ends, and a lot of people in the chat were talking about secondary as being a weakness. So perfect.
Yeah, so this is a great conversation that that we still need to have. I thought I had the video of Jadeveon talking about it. I'll pull it up. But anyway, Jadeveon Clowney was talking about that he is still recruiting Stephon Gilmore to come to the Carolinas. He says that at the end of the day, it is going to come down to money, which is obvious. And
Yeah,
that
and at that point in your career, too, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're chasing
Yeah.
a ring, you ain't chasing a ring in Carolina.
No, well, it's
You know?
not. Yeah, not
this year. I mean, he's a one.
Yeah,
He's a hitman right now. Him and Clowney are the same breed right now. They're mercenaries. They're mercs.
Yeah, fighters for hire, baby. So I'm actually gonna play the video clip of Jadeveon talking about it, and then we'll expand upon it even more and talk about our options on defense.
You know yourself. You know what you got to offer to a team. You know you can play the game. You really don't worry about that part of that. So you're just making sure you're ready when that phone rings and the right.
This might not be the right clip.
You feel right.
No, it is.
That call you sign, you go out there, you put on for what you do it for. I take the last few years, I've been on 1 year deals, and like I said, you 1 foot in, 1 foot out the league, and I said I want to be in the league. So
he wants to keep playing.
You really got to take control and take it one game at a time. Stop the training room from being hurt. You can't have no bad season, or it really be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know how the league is.
I don't think this is it unless it's at the end.
Yeah, well, Dave Newton messed up then.
I just try to take full advantage of my opportunities.
Oh, don't mess with him. Guys, here goes. Here goes the day. Don't.
Yeah.
Hey, when you click on the comments, Greg, we got to let you. I know you stepped away for a half second. You got to hear this call, all right?
All right.
What's up, boys? I just want to say from out here in Idaho to hear my fucking 4 horsemen, all their voices at the same time. You guys could read the fucking Catawba County phone book right now, and I will be listening in.
I told
fucking
you, Greg.
A.
That's
Love
awesome.
you guys.
Told you,
guys.
people.
Love you too, man.
Everybody asking for you. That was not. Did you look at the comments for that tweet?
Of this tweet?
The one that with the audio, you said, Dave. Hold up. I just want to see what the fans said to him.
Well, this isn't even. Hold on.
Oh, okay. So that's not the right. That's not the. 54
What?
seconds. All right. So press play.
So the only comment under the
one
video
you
is,
showed.
Yeah, this is the video, and he
Scroll
says,
down. Do people say anything about?
There's only one comment.
Oh
Gilmore's
gosh,
radio-
nobody's let Dave Newton have it for like this isn't even the right fucking clip.
this
Dave
isn't even the
Newton,
right
the worst
video.
reporter in the league. Fire him, ESPN. That's what they say each week.
Dude, Dave Newton strikes again.
Yeah.
Oh, shenanigans, Dave, huh?
He didn't have the audio. He had this other audio, but he was like, I
Yeah.
got a better tweet. How is that not brilliant, dude?
And by the way, how is everyone like, we expect this so much that we're not even going to say anything? It's like, whatever. We expect this completely.
Hold on. Nova, bring up Nova's comment. Did I do this on the show? Because I have it bookmarked.
Well,
Did I do it on the show?
So Tony, I was going to do this for my eyes up.
I've had it bookmarked for 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah, I have too. So that's one of
But
both of ours.
have y'all read up on that though? Like, 'cause I
Yes.
actually
Is it
was
not
gonna text
real?
y'all.
Is it
It's
fake?
not that it's not real. It's that it actually wasn't his fault. He had some paperwork that he was supposed to be able to drive. He had some paperwork that was supposed to be filed years
No,
back.
Greg,
It was never
there was
filed.
there was an even newer update to that. It turns
Oh,
out
yeah?
that story was bullshit too.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Did
like,
you guys see the Gayo tweet?
the what?
I fell for it. Look, I pride myself on not falling for shit on the internet as much anymore. Like
baited?
just suspecting everything was for real. And it was like an AI. It was like Hellman's mayonnaise, and they called it Gayo. And it was like put some pride, and it was all like rainbow colored, and it was like put some pride in your next sandwich or something.
Dude, that's hilarious.
I know. Like I was, I sent it to my friend.
Because that could so easily be real.
Right. And then I sent it to my friend before it kind of hit me that because my buddy hates mayonnaise so much. Like even if it's like close, I said Perry's been saying this for years. And, but then I was like, I was baited in to something fraudulent net, which somebody asked me, said this is, should there be some sort of water tag that is put on AI created images? Like that the producer of the AI image, like Microsoft or whatever, like where the image automatically comes with some water tag that says AI created.
I think they're going to have to
that though.
Well, but I think
you could break the rule, but like there's so many ways you can break the rule. But if you made it so that happened, it would take away like 90% of the problem, right? There'll be 10% of the people that could figure out a way around it.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but as AI continues to build and progress, I'm telling you, they're going to implement legislation to do shit to try and.
All my students use it.
But
they're
even
fucking
if it's
all
like
cheating,
that,
dude.
Right. Oh, my, yeah. How could you not? Do even like writers of articles are like urging their writers to use AI to help them clean up their work.
Script for TV shows.
Yeah, and dude, you realize like there are going to be entire industries that are going to be gone forever because of AI.
Well, that's fine. I mean, look, I'm not a Luddite. I understand that industries and positions move and grow and some different things like that. But so my students, I teach upper, set post-secondary, whatever, a secondary whatever.
Does everyone just have amazing papers now whenever
yes,
there?
Yes. Like I'm calling, I'm like getting excited for sentence fragments now. I'm like, yeah. But here's the if you are an AI user and you're submitted papers for your school, I'm gonna give you some tips right now if you don't want to run into me. The first tip is the title. Every title has a colon and then a great subtitle after it, right? And like as an early writer, you don't write titles like this, right? You have to walk around for weeks trying to come up with a title. Be like Tapestry in Time, an exploration through American history. And every time if you see this in a colon, I'm like, right away, I'm like AI, dude, straight up. I had.
Because they never used to do it before, but now they're all doing it.
I've been teaching American history at the collegiate level for over 14 years now. I've marked, and I'm a big on writing, right? So I've marked more essays than you could imagine, right? I can see it. And it's just like all of these patterns. I've seen the word tapestry more in the last 2 weeks than I've seen in 15 years. Right? And these great lines, I'm like, holy shit. The thing is you hate to be like, look, we know this is all bullshit, but I've been writing for over 20 years. And some of these lines would take me like 8 weeks to actually, I would write something. It would kind of be that. And then I would tweak it and I would come back and this and that. And then you would hit it. You know what I'm saying? And one kid had a line that was something to the effect of, in this history, this tapestry, I told him tapestry, a lot of tapestry AI it was like in this tapestry of time, we're trying to find the historical thread that I was like, what the it's bullshit. Bullshit. There are no grammatical. It is crap, dude.
But I do have a question for you. Do any of your bosses or like the higher ups, like, what do they tell you teachers? Like, especially English teachers.
I'm completely in autonomy in my classes. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out.
Is it like a foregone conclusion, though, that, hey, all of your papers are going to be written by students using AI and there's just nothing you can do?
I don't think, but see, when you get to higher academia, you don't have like that collective voice governing everything. We're all trying to figure it out at every college, at every instructor level. You're trying to figure it out on your own. The question, though, that you're running into is like, So some people will say this is like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. It's time to embrace it. So, but here's where I get irritated about that is like, so you want to call me a historian and an American history instructor, but you really want me to be someone who teaches how to use AI well. Right? Because they're like, make an assignment where you're like prodding in this. I was like, dude, you can use it's the problem with this is the calculator is not a problem, right? The calculator, the scientist, all a helpful tool. But if you don't understand the fundamentals of math, the calculator is a paperweight.
Yeah.
And that's where AI writing is like, they're not like going, hey, move this paragraph around. I want to rephrase it. Funniest though story of AI I got for you though, real quick, is one of my coworkers who's a part-time instructor is also a preacher, right? He's a pastor.
That's fine.
And he was talking about like pastors talking about using it to write sermons, you know, like this crap like this. And
AI, word of God inspired.
Right. Like stuff like, and so we were talking about like, and I was telling like some of the things you could do. You could be like, write a paper, say an essay or a novel or even like a poem in the voice of Edgar Allan Poe with a tinge of this or that. And he was like, holy moly, what if you had Sam L. Jackson say, write me a sermon in the voice of Sam L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, but Tony, like,
you'd be like,
it's incredible. No, but dude, like they even have videos of like famous anime characters with the actual voice actors singing like R&B songs.
Yeah,
perfectly, dude. And the thing about AI is that
it's weird.
Yeah, as it continues to go exponentially, like eventually it's going to get to the point where you'll have a video of a world leader saying, I've just shot out 5 missiles and they're headed right towards such and such. And no one's going to be able to instantly know whether or not it's a real or fake video. Just the other day, Meg Thee Stallion had like another, it was like a porn video release of Meg Thee Stallion. And it wasn't even her.
Yeah.
It was just
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know who Meg Thee Stallion is?
No.
Damn, you're getting older. No, that's all right. She's a famous rapper. She shakes her ass. You heard that song, WAP?
Yeah.
You know, bucket and a mop.
Wouldn't it be called WAP though?
I mean, you know, tomato, I guess.
I know. Oh, that's gonna go to one of my ice up picks tonight. I don't know if I can show. Actually, well, here we got one more call that just came in.
Yeah, and then I want to show you this.
Yo, C3 family, D, one more time for you.
What up, D?
D's talked about earlier about how this whole community is growing and how we're thriving and so forth. And it's a beautiful thing. He's one of the most humble people I've met. So I want to say, let's give our flowers to D's ill skills. That man puts in work. That man is that dude. That brand ambassador, not a better tag that you could give an individual.
I'm telling you, man.
I tip my hat to you. Panther Nation, we do through stuff. We've lost so many people. People have been going through things. I want to let you know. You can find me on X. You can find me wherever you see me. You need a friend. You need to talk. You need somebody just to tell you keep pounding. Reach out to me. And lastly, I was not going to go tonight. We'll give us such the introduction to my boys and leave out Bat Daddy. It's great to have you back. Take care of your mental health, brother. You keep pounding. And all of Panther Nation, we love y'all. Can't nobody fade C3. We here. We are here. But like I said,
out here.
Even though I love the C3 Panther podcast, the Legion is where my heart is. And I love every single one of them. And I love every single one of y'all for giving me a family.
Yes, sir. Keep pounding, D.
Always makes us feel better.
But D is the man, and him giving D's his props. Dude, it's funny that they both have similar sounding names, D's and D, because
Yeah.
both of those two are the
like
most optimistic dudes you will ever meet in your life,
Love
man.
it.
They are doing
They're
big
good to
things
be
for
around.
C3 Panther Nation. Good guys, man. Salt of the earth. We love those dudes.
All right, what's next in the show?
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to talk about today. So because we have Jadeveon
we didn't even
Clowney,
talk about it, did
but
we?
yeah, so Jadeveon Clowney said that he's recruiting Stephon Gilmore to come back to the Carolina Panthers, but he also noted that Gilmore has options of other teams, and it's going to be come down to who pays him the most. And why wouldn't it be? He's later in his career. He's proven what type of player he is. Normally, they would want to go to a contender, but how much does he want to come home? And most Panther fans have wanted this because we feel like we have a lot of holes in our defensive secondary, just a lot of question marks. No one trusts Dane Jackson as a long-term option at corner for Carolina. But in light of all of our recent injuries at the edge rusher position, I wanted to pose this question, like, is it the best use of our money right now? So according to this is SpotTrack, the Carolina Panthers are 30th right now in total cap space. We have over $5 million, $5,621,355 to be precise. My question is it a better idea to sign Stephon Gilmore and use up the rest of that money that we have? Or
he's not playing for $5 million though.
Well, right, but I'm saying it's going to eat up most of what you're, the rest of what you have this year.
You would have to do something to. I mean, I'm sure maybe this number is going to adjust when they adjust the roster from 90 to 53 or whatever they got to do and all of that stuff. But I don't know. Like, first is it's a 1-year deal, right? To your discussion though, is the real discussion is this: is if you're going to spend whatever, say it's equal amount of money, right? It's a 1-year burn. Going on vacation, going to Las Vegas, you just plan to burn this money regardless. Do you do it on a corner or on a defensive end? Especially now we're talking about the difficulties that the Panthers are facing. I'm trying to find the secondary is a real problem though, right? The thing though is you could probably find a corner who is more serviceable somehow for a lower price than Stephon Gilmore. But Stephon Gilmore is a guy who can come in at this time, pick things up, and be fine. Real question is, who the hell is out there on that at defensive end that's a legitimate free agent that would even be worth signing, that would even contend? And then you're talking about this is what happens if Womble or whatever his name is, and these guys come back. Are they overshadowing that signing? I think Stephon Gilmore would be the easiest understand. Like, it's like, hey, we got you. Our secondary isn't great. We need a guy who can play still. You have done it so long. Come on in. You're going to start over everybody. At defensive end, I think you're going to grab a player who is like, yeah. And then you don't even know if you should start him over the other guys and this and that. And I just feel like at least Gilmore would make a difference. So, CK, the others dipped. What are your thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
And then we can move on.
Again, that's one of the... We lost, Dante Jackson, which, again, we can argue whether that was a positive or a negative for the team overall, but, we lost him. And that was a veteran presence that we had, regardless if you agree that he was a big impact or not. JC Horn has been having a hard time staying on the field. Now, that doesn't mean he won't be able to stay on the field moving forward, but Stephon Gilmore does offer you a few things. Number one, he offers you a bit of a known commodity. He's getting older, so it's hard to be able to put him on that category of somebody who you think is going to be like a game wrecker, right? But he's going to be a consistent performer as he's continuing to play at a high level. I think, he's going to have his intelligence. He's going to be able to, I think he's going to show a lot of people that he's actually still a really good player in the league. It's just, we're kind of stuck in between this rock and a hard place when it comes to the cap space. Are we really even a contender right now? Do we want to go after a guy and and then put that money there when maybe there's other needs such as.
I mean, can you roll it over is the question. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those things is like, is it better just to spend the $5 now? Or, I mean, I know it's not $5.
Right.
But the idea is that like, is saving that for one more spin really worth it?
Yeah, it's a hard question because I see your point. Like, really, what other defensive end or edge rusher, again, whatever, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call them, who are you going to get right now? Like, the time to do this was earlier, and most of us thought we waited kind of late to get Jadeveon Clowney.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, Stephon Gilmore seems like the best bang for your buck just because there's really no one else available at that edge position.
Yeah, that's going to make a difference.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I have on that one. So I'm so glad that Greg is here for this next one. Because this is part 1 and part 2. I found part 2 while we were doing the show, and it's a perfect discussion since Greg is here, right? So we have some offensive line kind of news. One, they put out this picture of some of our O linemen on Twitter and on the Panthers website. And it's kind of coincidental that there's no center. There's no center in this picture, right? And most of us are feeling like Austin Corbett is going to be that player that transitions over to center. And this is good news. And I wanted to know what you guys think of this. If you think this is good news, if it's heartening in any way. Shayna Quick says Austin Corbett is moving well downfield. Good to see after dealing with injuries the past 2 seasons. So he seems to be the plan going forward at center. How are you feeling about that so far? Greg, we'll start with you.
Once again, I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to what's been going on. I've kind of lost that hope. It's kind of just when I see it, it'll happen. If we made upgrades to the offensive line, it's great. This picture would be better if they had the 4 of them standing there and then Bryce Young standing behind them.
Oh, dude.
That's what they should have done.
You're fucking on it. You're on it, dude, because that's literally the next picture that I'm about to show you.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait.
Since you already brought it up, I might as well do it now. So, look, this is the picture that somebody actually commented under the picture on the Twitter account. But hold on, this is hilarious, but it bears talking about, right? So this dude, Kybin36 on Twitter, says, I wanted to post this because I think it helps people to understand why short quarterbacks struggle. Did you see how much smaller the windows are for a quarterback like Bryce Young to see through? Instead of seeing around an O-line helmet, you're seeing around his shoulder pads, limiting your view. And they put this imposed picture of Bryce Young, and they're showing you like these are the normal windows that a quarterback is looking through, and that Bryce is like he's looking down here.
And if you notice, he's not flat-footed right there. He's about to throw the ball, it looks like. So he's not
he's in a throwing position.
Tiptoes, yeah.
But also the linemen are not in their stance either, to be fair.
And he's not touching them, right?
If you're standing up as a lineman like that, you are losing your battle 100% of the time. This is not an accurate, this is just such a misleading thought. Like these guys are going to be about 1.5 feet shorter than this because they're going to be in a stance that's intended to be able to keep them engaged with a defender that's going to be trying to rush the quarterback. This is still it's misleading entirely.
I wouldn't say 1.5 feet shorter. I'll grant you that they will be a little bit shorter but I wouldn't say 1.5 feet shorter, especially when you've got defensive linemen who are going to be getting underneath them, trying to push them up.
Yeah.
Like as your job, you're not supposed to do that, but you're going to be getting pushed back, which means you're going to be getting pushed up.
Also, they're not going to be sitting this close to one another either.
Right, but also, even if it isn't a one-for-one reference of their height and the positions that they will be taking, there is some truth to this.
Sure, but it's also hyperbole. You can use this but it's not. It's hyperbole. You're using it and getting an extreme position that isn't accurate. Like now what will happen is you're going to get a group of people who are already concerned about Bryce Young's height, who don't like him and never thought we should have gone with him, who are going to run with this narrative, and it's just an inaccurate narrative.
I wonder if
Is it a
somebody did
concern?
this
Sure.
for Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
like what it would look like.
Well,
Would it
Patrick
look
Mahomes
like?
well, he's 6'3".
I know, but would it look insanely different?
I can make the same argument about Bryce though, because he's in a throwing motion on his tiptoes. He wouldn't be standing up like that. He's going to be back with his knees bent a little bit, moving him. He's going to be.
Here's the thing: is being tall.
So,
I think the point is this: is being tall is not a disadvantage unless you're too tall, right? Where it affects your athleticism. And like I am 5'10", right? I don't have a height advantage in the world. Like I'm not like quitting my life. You know what I'm saying? It's like Bryce doesn't have to quit his life at quarterback, but he doesn't have a vertical advantage.
So
his advantage has to come somewhere else.
These are your same throwing windows too, Tony, because you and Bryce are both 5'10".
No, but I think CK is right. But I also think too that the picture tries to elucidate the benefit of being 3 more inches taller.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like, how about this? If Bryce Young was 6'2", would you be upset?
No.
If he was the same exact person and just 6'2", wouldn't that make you feel better?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Dude, who doesn't? If you're 5 something, everyone.
I want to be 6. My son's taller than me. I'm looking up at this kid already.
People that are 5'10" or 5'11" just round up anyway. I'm 6 foot. Yeah, but
I don't do that. I might even be rounding up to 5'10". Shit.
Maybe Bryce does. I don't know. But listen, like again, I'm not saying that you're wrong, CK, but I'm saying this isn't also like completely misleading in the terms of, the New Orleans Saints for a long time, they actually made use of Drew Brees under center for this very reason. That when you let the play unfold a little bit and you put him under center, again, Dan Orlovsky did a video that explained this whole thing, but it's actually better for shorter quarterbacks and their sight lines. And they did that for Drew a lot of times for a reason. So it's not knocking him, but there is some truth to it. And as an offense, our coaches and Bryce himself are going to have to continue to do things that are tailor-made to his height and how he's going to play the game.
Yeah. Cody said it better than me. I agree with him.
All right. Here, we got 2 more calls. Let's take another one.
Hey, guys. It's the girl that makes them howl, a.k.a. Joey the Blind Panther.
All the OGs.
I have a funny story about AI, and it actually relates to the Carolina Panthers, believe it or not. So I'm at Roaring Riot. This is the before the Packers game, when Bryce Young put up 30 points, and then we got our cars stolen when we got back to the fucking train station. Sons of bitches. But yeah. So I'm there, and I'm at the party, and I'm on the dance floor, and all of a sudden I hear this, because it's Christmas. It was Christmas Eve. So I hear some Christmas songs. I say, oh, DJ's going to work in some Christmas songs. No. What it turns out to be is Get Low to the tune of Holly Jolly Christmas. Then I started going down a rabbit hole. Dude, they have so many AI videos of Christmas. I mean, the most popular one is Apple Bottom Jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Go look up Apple Bottom Drummer Boy. It's hilarious. And then look up what I don't know what he called it. It was just Get Low to the tune of Holly Jolly Christmas. It's absolutely hilarious. And I can't believe the DJ at Roaring Riot had the balls to play that. It was absolutely hilarious. Anyway, guys. And that was not AI, ladies and gentlemen. That was the growl that makes them howl.
Shout out Joey the Blind Panther.
All right. I don't know.
I've seen Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory singing Keisha Cole. She's an R&B singer. Bro, let me tell you, it was fucking fire too. Like, it's not like it's just some bullshit they're putting out. It's like really crazy good shit. Dude, we live in a
It's getting wild, dude.
I want to see the real version of Joey the Blind Panther on the dance floor to get low to the Holly. I can't think of a cooler thing to see in real life. I don't want that AI generated.
I kind of hope that we meet Joey this year. I think
Oh
that
my
it's gonna
gosh.
happen.
Like I have so much to ask. Do you remember?
Me and him are just going to be making cripple jokes at each other the whole night if we ever
Do you
did
remember
meet
the
each other.
blind? Was it basketball? Oh no, it's why everybody.
The football player, the blind kid, the football
No,
player.
I think Joey called in one time and said he was friends. We're playing basketball. And
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what it was.
blind basketball. I want to see this happen. Also, Wakanda forever, Joey. Gosh, what is it, man? Joey has had the Wakanda Forever joint on this podcast. He's tickled me so many times. Like, I have never been happier in my life when I saw that. All right,
That
here.
happened on a show that I missed too, so I didn't.
I think it was a post game, wasn't it, or something?
I don't even know. I didn't even
He
get
said
to.
this. All right, so people that don't know the story, I have to tell it just real briefly. So Joey the Blind Panther has been calling the show for a long time. And he had been calling in for a long time at this time, right? Like it'd been several multiple years that he'd been calling the show regularly. He had already gotten so we call Joey the Blind Panther. And so he comes on. I think it was in a Matt Rule season, maybe.
Yeah, it was
and
like 2-3 years ago. Yeah.
And he said, I didn't want to go watch this damn game. I knew what was going to happen. So I went out and he said, I went and played, I think he said basketball with my friends or something like that, or sports with my friends. And
my blind friends.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was, with my blind friends. He said, I went and played. Maybe this is the basketball story all in one. Like I went and played some basketball with my blind friends. That's what it was. He said, I went and played some basketball with my blind friends, which I was already on the basketball shit. Like, what the fuck is this like? And then these people got mad in the chat because they thought he said my black friends.
Right.
And then somebody put Joey the Black Panther Wakanda Forever in the chat, and I have never gotten this out of my head, dude. It's been one of the best moments in my life.
Can
be in Wakanda Forever, dude. Joey the Black Panther. So that's what we say now. Anytime we hit any race issues real hard, we hit the
Joey the Black Panther. That's cool. Real quick, can I play? It's only 19 seconds. Maybe the funniest video ever made. And I know I have to.
We've said we're gonna get knocked for it.
Are we really?
Yeah, the blind kid that plays. It's terrible. It's so wrong.
I know, and he's wearing a Panthers helmet. He's on the Panthers team, and he's just running around trying to make plays, dude. It's the most fucked up thing in the world, but I laugh so goddamn hard every fucking time I see.
All right, what else we got? Because if we're almost, are we through the Christian McCaffrey. What else?
Oh, okay. So this was courtesy of PanthersWire.com. This is a projection of our depth chart, and I just figured it'd be interesting just to take a real quick look at. Not too much different. I noticed that we have Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas ahead of Jatavion Sanders, which I've been told with everybody. I think that's how it's going to be. It takes tight ends a long time to learn how to block in the NFL. But I don't know. I just saw this and I figured it would be something to discuss. But dude, look at this backfield. J.C. Horn. After him is Deshaun Jameson. Then you have Dane Jackson and DiCaprio Boodle. Like, God, that's
another one that always makes us laugh.
Bro, that's fucking.
If you don't grin a little when you hear DiCaprio Boodle's name, you don't live. You're not alive if you don't a little giggle inside your soul.
It rolls off the tongue, though.
I don't know. It's like, I just feel like it's so much.
Dave Newton called him DiCaprio Booty.
And then I just think of like Pootie Tang meets Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's my
That's
favorite
like,
movie ever, by the way.
like, is if you could smash those two people in an entity, we got DiCaprio booty.
They pitch
Boom.
how my thing, man.
All right, but the point is this: is like if you think that the defensive end, this is struggling. I guess you got to hope that this Jordan Fuller kid, or not kid, he's an older player. I think he came from the Rams. Troy Hill's the best damn corner on this team. How about that? That's Troy Hill's been the most productive corner on this team.
Do we miss Dante Jackson yet?
Nah,
not yet. Not yet. Let me see how Dante.
He would have looked great on this list, but guess who would have been playing anyway?
I gotta see how Deontay Johnson. I gotta see how Deontay Johnson plays before I'd say that I miss him. By the way, real quick to D, I dropped it in the C3 Legion chat, the blind kid playing football. But when you see it up here like this, it really does show you what I'm talking about. How, bro, there really just is no depth. I mean, even look at outside linebacker, man. There isn't a lot there.
We got 7 running backs though.
Yeah, we do have
we got 7 running backs, so we're good there.
We've got a bunch of running backs. Damn, we have a bunch of fucking running backs.
A ton.
How many running backs? You think we're gonna
more
roll?
than we need.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. All right. Well, first of all, some of these guys are just meant to hold places in training camp.
Yeah.
Look, go ahead and just knock off. Arguably, you're going to be able to knock off 4 on that list. It's going to be, at least 3. 3 of those are going. Jaden, Mike, Raheem, or Rashad are definites. Like, I don't know if it's Raheem Blackshear or Rashad Penny that makes it. I don't know how you could carry 4 running backs, and then oh my gosh, do you start Brooks on IR?
It depends, man. It's like I want him to play right away, but if he's not available, then they might start him on.
But then you could like have Chuba and Miles Sanders, and then you have the one extra that plays special teams for the first 6 weeks of the year, and then you're gonna cut one of those guys mid to Miles Sanders.
Are we really gonna roll with what? Fuck! I just saw 5 tight ends. Like, there's no way, right? Jordan Matthews is probably not going to be here.
No,
I think
he's not.
Stephen Sullivan has been he's been here a while, but
there's cutting no matter what.
Yeah, those guys are going.
Unless for some reason they just said we don't like. I mean, Stephen Sullivan. Yeah, those 2 cuts are going.
No, I will say.
How many strong safeties do you got? A bunch.
Jesus.
5.
Jamie Robinson. How hilarious!
Jamie.
Wow. But dude, I will say that outside of this kicker battle that's just at a fever pitch, the next battle that I think is the most interesting and probably is the most important battle is center. And I say battle. I don't think there's a battle. Austin Corbett is going to be your day 1 starter at center. But I know that Christensen has gotten some snaps at center. And I'm kind of inclined to believe that maybe Christensen might be that Swiss Army knife of an offensive lineman that the Panthers need.
You will not give up on this man, will you?
I won't. I fucking won't.
Not give up on this man.
Every time
better than a lot of people, though.
He does well.
I agree.
He's a good player.
He's you know what? He surprised me a lot of times. I'll give you that. Yeah. But
well, how about this? Who's making the team over him?
Good point.
Yeah, no one.
Right? Is if you look at those, is he's gonna beat out Cade Mays, maybe.
Yeah,
you could look at every position group from left tackle, left guard to right tackle, and argue that he can beat out all of them.
So is he like
Who's Josh Nijam? We don't know who that is.
So that's the guy that's this dude right here on the far end. And how disrespectful that they put him ahead of Brady Christensen as the backup left tackle.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing, boys?
I
don't know. I think that
it was a uniform thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have Christensen on this team than any of these other dudes. Chandler Zavala, like, dude,
Well,
I don't.
Zavala's a second-year player now.
Chandler Zavala will
He's got
never
a lot
be
to prove. He's got a lot to prove this year. He's got a lot of work to do.
I don't think Zavala's ever going to be a starter on this team.
Wow. Okay. All right.
We've already replaced him. It's like
with who? All the big
guys.
guys.
Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. Like,
how about this? All right. Let me ask you this: would you rather have Cade Mays or Chandler Zavala? Do not say Cade Mays because Chandler Zavala you have draft stock in.
Dude, Zavala was bad last year.
But still, so was Cade Mays. Cade Mays,
I know. You're picking between dog shit and cat shit.
I know. I think I think Brady, Christensen, and Zavala are the swing players you keep, and then the rest of the dudes are gone. If I'm looking at the offensive line.
Christian is white. Right. I totally can't quit.
You said, yeah, he is white.
He totally is white too. And this is just fucked up. They have Eddie Pinheiro listed as the kicker.
So this isn't the team, right?
No,
you have to have him listed as the kicker number one right now. He's the guy you have on the payroll, as the
good point. Who's actually kicked a field goal in the NFL?
I don't have to do shit for Eddie.
Right.
Pinheiro.
He may not be the best guy for the spot, but
No.
All right. What did we got? Anything else?
We do. So again, just a little bit of news, not anything major. So a lot of people were worried about Xavier Legette and Miles Sanders, but Canales basically said that when it came to Legette, that if it were game week, that he would be practicing. So Xavier not practicing, that's just precautionary. So no reason to worry about Xavier. And then the next slide, did you have something?
Miles Sanders is always hurt.
Yeah, who cares?
I saw a tweet that had no real, it was like an anecdotal evidence. It wasn't evidence. The guy, it just made me think of players. And he said, this is why I don't like guys like Legette who have so much body mass on their frames. And it was because they're so physically gifted beyond what they should be that they run into injuries like this, like their hamstring snapping and stuff. And I was like, first, I know this is not rooted in any science. Like we can look at, there's been Anquan Bolt, there's been plenty of, but then I was starting to think, oh gosh, Kevin White. You know what I'm saying? And then you think of, hey, great time to bring up the next slide here is I always am very suspicious of players who post videos on IG or whatever, and they're coming off an injury, and you're like, oh, these guys look so great. Christian McCaffrey almost at one point worked out too hard. It felt like we were like, is this why you're getting soft tissue issues and stuff like this? Because your box jumping up. Actually, I did see a recent Christian McCaffrey workout video. It was pretty cool. He was doing skips and hops, and it was like he was running. So it would be like skipping and hopping over arm tackles and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. But he's going to be on the Madden cover, CK. I like this cover, though. Him running straight at you. That's badass.
Away from
your thoughts on the cover and the curse.
I mean, I love the cover. I don't really, I don't necessarily subscribe to the curse because it's only, it's as many years as they say that there's been people who get injured. There's been an equal amount, if not more, years where they don't. So I think
it's balanced out as of the last decade. The first decade or so was just like, Jesus, this thing is real.
Yeah, it was tough.
How much does the deluxe? What is the deluxe edition, CK? What do you think comes with that?
I mean, I wouldn't do it because I don't do the online Madden stuff, so it's not as valuable to somebody like myself. But I mean, I'm guessing.
What does that do? Like you think?
Like you get more experience. Maybe you get
So you get an advantage from day one.
Yeah. If you pay for the more, you get more stuff to be able to have a better team and what have you. Because when you do the online Madden Ultimate Team and stuff.
Do the players know that are playing that you got deluxe? I think they should give you a Twitter check like we got. So you'd be like this, you'd be like, all right, dude, I'm not deluxe. and I'm playing your deluxe ass team right now, and I'm gonna beat your ass. I would want to know if they had an advantage.
But doesn't it somewhat match up the skill levels and XP levels for opponents you play?
Probably.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, there's going to be some natural skill-based matchmaking and what have you that kind of goes into play. I think it's all just fake anyway. Anytime that you have a pay-to-win type of a game, they're going to constantly try to push you to spend that money, you know?
Yeah. So, by the way, the Madden curse is dead, though, right? Like, there have been athletes that have.
I think it's the last decade has balanced.
Yeah, like the past couple cover athletes have not.
Right.
For those who don't know, there was a legit thing for a bunch of years. That
whoever 11 years, dude.
Yeah, whoever was on the cover of Madden, the very next year would suffer a season-ending injury. But
these days it doesn't give you advantage. You get cards, early access, and different things like that.
Yeah. So another fun fact: did you know that Christian McCaffrey is not the first white boy running back to grace the cover of Madden?
Oh, I can tell you. Yes, hold on. Only Greg and I probably might know that.
Yeah, he was from the Cleveland Browns. I can't remember his name.
Peyton Hillis.
There
you go, Peyton Hillis. Peyton Hillis.
I know about white boy running backs
on the 2012 cover of Madden. Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
But
1 year wonder.
Shout out to CMC. Again, it's one of those things where it's kind of a moral victory because it's he was a Panther.
I like the picture.
But it also just reminds
you. That.
It just reminds you, oh yeah, you fucking used to be a Panther, huh?
I know. I almost can't even remember it. To be honest, I can't even remember it.
No.
The one thing and on top of that is I knew he was always really important, but the thing to remember is that 2018 season we had 2000. That feels like a million years ago.
If you're really wanting to be depressed, there's a video that kind of goes about 50 minutes long, and it goes through the rise and fall of the Carolina Panthers, and you get to reminisce a lot about
I watched it. Yeah, I watched that whole video. Dude, it was a great video.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. But
where do you find it at?
YouTube. I can look it up and see if I can send it to you.
Yeah, put in the group chat because I want to watch that too.
All right, what else is
real quick before we move on? I just wanted to mention one thing you were talking about players working out too hard. Did y'all hear that? They've had to stop Marvin Harrison Jr. and calm him down because he's working out so hard during practices. They're afraid he's going to get hurt and overwork himself.
Hey, chill, man. He's only go 100.
Yeah, he's dedicated.
Dude, there's been nothing but stories around him the entire offseason. First it was with the man.
One time it was he was slow. I saw one that.
Yeah, and then they were saying that he was out of shape and he didn't do anything at the combine. He didn't do anything at a pro day. There's been a bunch of weird.
The whole thing with the rights, the image rights, all of that stuff. He's been in the news.
Yeah, he's been in it.
All right, is that it?
The very final slide. Y'all remember a few years ago, this guy named Hakeem Butler? Well,
yes.
He is back, and he is indeed signing with the Carolina Panthers.
Who is he? I don't remember.
So this is Hakeem Butler. He came out of, I believe, Iowa State a couple of years back. He just went to the UFL, and he was the Offensive Player of the Year. He had 45 catches and a league best 652 receiving yards. I would play some clips, but we're probably for sure going to get down.
Yeah. I mean, he got. How did he catch 5 touchdowns? 10 from Matt Corral.
He's every bit of 6'6". He's long, he's tall, and I believe he ran a 4.6. Yeah, he's a tall receiver.
Yeah.
He is a giant receiver.
Like a giraffe out there.
Yeah, but again, man, I like the thought of having that fuck it ball wide receiver. He's down there somewhere. Put it up. He'll go up and make a play. And he did that in the UFL, and he did have a lot of potential coming out of college. I liked him win all those years ago, but it just didn't have the best road to the NFL. But the Panthers are going to sign him. Does this do anything for you? I mean, Tony didn't even know him, but I think
don't even care now that you brought it up.
Well, I'd like to see him.
6'6" is insane.
Yeah, I'd like to see a big red zone target. What's funny is he's like taller than Kelvin Benjamin and he looks 30 pounds lighter.
How much does he weigh? He better weigh like 225 though. If that guy's 6'6" and is like 198, man, he looked like a little E-League NBA player.
So, man, I'm trying to see if I can get like one.
Yeah. If he has speed, that'd be nice. But I mean,
yeah,
he does. I care nothing about this guy, but would be a very tall story.
Oh yeah, but listen,
tail.
Look him up look up his
Hakeem Butler 1,000-yard season, tall tail.
By the way, why are we like always guaranteed to get these amateur league MVPs?
How many MVPs are in the league? There's like every team aside a XFL MVP. Like the Falcons are like MVP of quality control. You know, like how many?
Well, there's a hierarchy.
There's the only ones that get the MVPs.
There's a hierarchy. There's the XFL and UFL and that. Then there's the Carolina Panthers. Then there's the NFL.
Okay.
You know, so that's what it is. We're the
Kevin said, Pickle said that they tried him at tight end with us.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a big dude. And that's it. It's time to ice some fools.
Oh, guess what time it is? 11.
Actually, mine
literally is 11:11 right now. So there's not a better time for us to ice up some fools. Cody, let's send these fools some cold ice.
Will they do it?
Ice up, son. Ice up.
You're listening to the longest running segment on the longest running Panthers podcast. It's the Ice Up segment where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together. Anyone is fair game, from football to our families, to our countrymen, to our galaxy, to whatever you want to ice up. Let's ice some fools up, Cody. I missed a week. I got like a freaking repertoire of these mugs that we got to go, but I think we should give the mic first to Greg.
Okay. Yeah,
because Greg is here. And interestingly said, before we knew he even knew he was coming on the show, he said, this needs to be an ice up. So we're giving your ice up to you, my friend.
I hear you, man. I'm not even going to pull up the article. We'll just talk about it. Because I'd mentioned this before when all this happened, and I'm icing up California in general, which you could do for just a number of reasons. But, you know, they raised the minimum wage there to $20. I know it's more expensive there. And they've now lost 10,000 jobs in the fast food era, or the fast food markets. And I can't remember the number of restaurants that had to shut down because you can't just throw money at problems and expect it to get better. You know, like there's a reason
article said that the Big Mac, he said nobody's going to pay $20 for a Big Mac.
Exactly. Okay. Like the people that are in charge of these are not going to lose their money. Okay. So raising the money for people who work in there is not going to work. Now, the only thing I have to say about that is I hate that for the 10,000 people that lost their jobs. But I got to say to people, working at a fast food place is not meant to be a career job. This is why it is minimum wage.
Unless you're upper, you can turn into management. There are ways.
Now, if you're like management or something like that, you're exactly right. Then it's a career job. But these jobs are not meant to be career jobs. They're meant to be for younger people or single people or people who don't have a lot of experience working to gain experience and to get a little bit of money to learn how to manage money. It's not meant to live off of completely. And people somehow or another got it wrapped up that you can't live off a wage at McDonald's, and they're not wrong, but you can't raise the wage and expect that nothing to happen. And they're reaping what they sowed here. And it's just, I hate icing it up and thinking it's funny that 10,000 people lost their jobs, but it's one of these things that I know as soon as it happened, I said this was coming down the pipeline, and there it is. So ice up, California.
All right.
Ice up. Tony, so again, you and I wanted to do the same one, so I have the video, the original video. Do you want to play it? You want me to play it?
No, I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it. Will we get dinged for playing the whole thing? Can we start it like halfway through where we miss him parking and all of this crap?
Yeah.
Can we get it at the sir, are you in the car? He's like, I'm here. He goes, are you driving?
Yeah.
If you haven't, so this is like 2 weeks old, this thing, and I don't know where were all these Zoom gyms. Where is this coming from? Do you really get to Zoom into court now?
Well, yeah, I mean, apparently, yeah,
I don't think you can do that in my county.
No, well, I mean, they started doing it during COVID. Do you want to say so? Okay, let me at least say this though. This story has gotten so much leg over the past 2 weeks. Like it's been like major news stories, right? So there was an update. Well, how about this? I'll play the video first.
Yeah, we gotta play the video.
Yeah, because it's fucking hilarious. I think I'm just gonna play the whole video.
The whole it's long.
Yeah.
It's long. All right.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? We're an hour earlier than we normally are.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present in Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Can you hear me?
I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
His face.
His face. Imagine telling a judge to give you 1 second if you were in court.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
Look at his face.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
He's like, yeah.
His face is so amazing, dude.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
This is my best part. This is the best part where he said it to them.
So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
oh my god.
All right. So it's been the most hilarious thing. I just like the idea. This guy's now going to jail and all this. It's wonderful.
Well,
Not wonderful.
so there was
But
like,
then, right. So tell us the iterations of this
yeah,
story.
and again, I don't really even know the final update, but like Greg was alluding to earlier, that it came out that the dude, like, what did you say, Greg? Like, it was like
there was some kind of paperwork that wasn't filed where he was supposed to be able to have his license to drive. It was like
To the doctor or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
something like that. Yeah, and it
Right.
never got filed, from what I understand, if I'm remembering correct.
yeah, well then
You don't
then
have that problem
so
though if you go to court.
the update that I saw is that not only was he driving on a suspended license, he never had a license in that state. He never had one ever at any time. So it's even doubly stupid because he's like defending himself and like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, and it's all for no reason. And then to find out, homie never had a license in Michigan, dude. Oh, you can't make it up.
Oh, love it. Ice up. Who are we icing up?
I
Him?
guess him. Yeah.
I'm icing up that we don't have a couple more of those videos. Why have we not had more of that video in my life?
You wanna go up next? Or
Yeah, go lighthearted here. Or not actually, no. Did I say lighthearted? That's a wonderful way of sharing my internet tastes. I'm icing up this guy.
Oh, the next one I have is hilarious.
For this is and I have to pull it. It's like a rivalry between like two Turkish or something, Middle East, like where I'll find the country in a second, but it's like two competing barbershops. Like they got bad blood or something. But look at this dude. This guy comes in with a motherfucking shotgun. How does he miss? How did he miss him?
I don't know if he did miss. I mean, if he had buckshot in there, there's no way he did miss him. Dude just took a little bit.
just took a little to the face and then wrestled
I don't know
him
about the
down.
face, but yeah.
Look, I mean, look at it, Greg. It's right here. Is the one that would have hit him is right there. Bam.
I don't know that one right.
That
There were two after that. I mean,
no way. He must be shooting
I
blanks
did
or
see
something.
that. That is crazy that nothing hit him.
Right, the guy's just wrestling him.
He 100% got hit.
Yeah.
Well, then how about this? Ice up to that caliber of shot that you gotta come in blasting with a shotgun. You think you're gonna put a dude down if he hit him?
There was no blood. You know, it's not like there was.
Where's the blood?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like I said, if he had buckshot in there, I could see.
It would be bird shot. You're talking bird shot.
Buckshot doesn't really matter. But either way, if it's in there,
buckshot was the big ones.
Yeah, buckshot.
Yeah, okay. Wait, either way, what I'm saying is he didn't have a very big distance, so there wouldn't have been a huge spread. But if you get hit like that, it's like getting hit with shrapnel. You're not going to bleed like out immediately like you will with a bullet wound.
Well, how about this? I don't see it. How about say this? I think he missed. I'm icing up.
He may have. Yeah, he may have.
All right, Cody. You got something else for us?
Yeah, dude. So I shared this on my timeline, and people thought it was hilarious, but it was the perfect ice up. And y'all are gonna have to help me. I don't necessarily know who I'm icing up here. It depends on how you view this. So I don't know. They're at some sort of spring break party or something. And bro,
I see this. The comments.
Look at his face the whole time. Shawty's shaking her ass.
He does not want to be there.
Bro, the fucking comments underneath it are hilarious. Bro, her booty wind must have stunk.
I mean, it was terrible.
Oh my god, dude.
My mom is in the chat. She said not family friendly. His face. The comments were hilarious on that. All right.
But the fact that he was trying so hard to get away.
TK, do you have one or multiple tonight?
I'm just gonna ice you up for not liking cheesecake, bro. Somebody forced us to have to do that.
Okay. All right. Here is my next ice. Oh, by the way, the country that shootout, the barbershop shootout was it says it's tattoo parlor rivalry in Turkey. All right. So this tweet said. The dude broke up with his girlfriend, so they came to egg his house. All right. And then so that's the half of the tweet. All right. Guy broke up with his girlfriend. Girlfriend shows up and eggs his house. All right. Here we go. I gotta make sure I gotta make sure the sound's off just in case there's some music or something. All right. So see the car.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
All right. Look, they're egging. Oh, look.
They're throwing eggs. I saw this.
Yeah.
They run
and
back
I thought
to
this
their
would have been
car.
some teenage girls too, by the way. Watch this. Speeding off for the getaway. Run the stop sign and get bam. Ice up.
Oh, they get
ice up for thinking that you need to get away from an egging so hard that you have to run a stop sign. Like you should have just stopped.
Did they get T-boned?
And then, huh?
They got T-boned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blasted. All right, Cody, you got any more? Because I got some stuff I got to roll.
Yeah, bro, I got 3 more.
3. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
But
Go.
they're not. They're certainly not.
They're not long.
They're not Mama Done approved. either.
Leave right now for this segment, please.
Well, this one that is actually pretty funny. It's okay. Someone recommended this in the chat. A dude stole a Dolphins jersey.
Oh, this is old. I've seen this.
And then wore it to court. It's so funny.
Yeah.
There you are. All right, you're charged with stealing a Dolphin jersey.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny. That actually wasn't one of my ice ups.
Right.
This one is a little bit crazy. This is just your average morning in New York. So Greg was icing up California. Well, I'm gonna stay on the East Coast and I'm icing up whatever the fuck New Yorkers are on, bro.
It's like pushing somebody in the subway, probably. Or something. Oh! Oh, it got worse. Like, look at the first.
I know. It's so random out of nowhere.
What was happening in the beginning, though? Like, it looked like
He was trying to steal somebody's bag, I think.
damn.
Yeah, I think dude stepped
Good
in trying to get
concern.
your bag.
So this dude
Got like a
is
trash bag, it looks
so
like.
I guess there's like a guy, like there's a homeless guy, this guy,
Right?
and the dude in the coat is trying to like touch his food or something that was like laying on the ground. So then he punches the homeless dude.
What, he thought he was going for the. Why would he
I
got
don't
involved in
know.
something he didn't know about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he gets
Yeah.
involved and punches.
Oh, and it wasn't a bag. It was a big old bottle of wine that he
Yeah,
smacked on his
dude.
head.
So he
Oh,
grabs
no, he
a
pulled that out from
big-ass
the corner.
bottle. Look how fast he hit him.
Look at how big that bottle is, dude. He had a.
And he broke it on his head too.
God, he got jacked up. Ugh.
So just your
Don't
average
poke your nose in other people's business. My eyes
just your
up.
average morning in New York City, man. Don't try and mess with a homeless guy's food.
All right, what else you got? Go ahead. I'm done. Mine are short from here on out.
I only have one more.
All right, well then let me go one. Let me slip one in here. All right.
Mine's only 6 seconds.
Okay, well look, mine is just a picture. Did you guys see this joint?
I might have one. Let me see.
First of all, if you ain't following the AB on Twitter,
Still, yeah.
you're missing out. I'm sorry, like it still hits. What is Sam Darnold doing smoking a blunt?
Shit.
Having a good time, it looks like.
He's hanging out playing golf.
Yeah.
Getting some. All right, that was it. Ice up not following AB's Twitter page. It's bananas.
Two more, and then I'm done.
Go
And they're very short. So you tell me who you think I'm icing up.
There's always a good video. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm icing up her boyfriend. Yeah.
Oh, I just dropped her right on her
Dude, he
back.
kind of ran. Yeah, look.
Oh,
Look how wet it is. This is just a terrible idea from the get-go, right? Look at how. Oh, and then he stepped on the diving. Oh, it was. Oh. I'm icing up both them dummies.
What was the plan? Like
he was gonna go walk out on the diving board. Imagine that diving board surviving that walkout.
Yeah, give me a fucking break.
That's like the best. They were hoping that diving board company was hoping that trick worked.
That might have been funnier to watch him walk out on the diving board and have it.
Kevin said ice him up for trying to prove himself.
Yeah, I don't like any of it. Yeah.
My last one. I don't know if this is horrible or hilarious. So y'all are gonna have to tell me. But maybe I'm just fucked up that I'll laugh at shit like this. But I kind of think Tony might like it too. So we'll see. The title is Bro boiled his eggs.
Oh, that's well. Oh,
What?
wait. No, this might not be the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, chicken noodles.
Painful.
What you
Oh,
get from trying to
dude.
play video games too quickly.
Oh.
One more time. Listen,
Oh.
The steam.
right on his balls.
God. I mean, direct hit. You know
Have
what I'm
you ever
saying?
had
Just
soup
catch-
that hot? Like, how do you soup that hot?
Thanks, Grandma, for this boiling lava.
Seriously.
Stop eating in your room. Like YB Jordan says.
All right, so
Yeah, ice up.
this, I don't know if this is what have you guys seen I don't know if this is true. And I feel like if you make this video and it's not true, then it should be like illegal.
Well, to all my fellow valets out there, if Caitlyn Jenner wants to drive her car despite finishing 11 dirty martinis, just let her.
I think this has got to be fair.
Yeah, it's fake. There's no way that was really kidding.
Right. And so, no, that look, because his eye's not swollen. It just looks like makeup.
It's true.
I laughed. And then I was like, hey, like, can you actually do that? You know, it's like, I wonder, are these people, some people are facing some legal consequences for. There's a lady here in North Carolina.
Caitlyn Jenner killed a person in her car. So the whole joke is that, she ran over, she hit a person at a stop sign and ran into him.
Caitlyn?
Yes, and killed someone. You can look it up.
Oh,
South Park make fun of it. Dude, it was fucking. Dude, it's the world that we live in is absurd. But yeah, so now that's the joke is that you don't ever want her behind the wheel of a car.
Okay. All right, those are my ice up picks. I'm not going to get anything else for this show. Oh, actually, no, I do have one more. Sorry, this goes way back, and I can't. I'm not going to show the whole thing because it's too long. And I don't know if we're gonna. So I'm just gonna speed through it. Is this cop?
Oh, they will ding you on these little police videos.
All right. And so anyway, the tweet is, hold on, let me get out of it now. It was, you can watch it. San Diego police officer resigns after getting locked in the back seat of his police cruiser for over an hour with a woman he arrested. He arrested this woman due to suspected car theft, but then he had to call for another officer to come and let him out of the car.
So he accidentally locked himself in?
He didn't accidentally, my friend. He didn't mean to lock himself. How about this? He didn't accidentally get in the back seat.
Oh, he was getting some pussy.
Yeah, there is something that you don't ever. There's never a time a police officer is going to get into the back seat of a police car and shut the door. Yeah, there's no way. If they will hold guns up at you because you didn't even look the head right, you know what I'm saying? They would drag that girl right out of the car. He was it. Boom, got caught, had to resign.
Yeah.
Paying for play, paying for favors. Ice up to that cop, you dummy.
Ice up.
I wish I could show you this one other too. That was who's that girl that I love that she interviewed Drake, and she has like
Bobby all top, the girl
she interviewed this girl, and she said, so you're a musician? And the girl said, no, I'm not a musician. I don't do none of that magic.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was hysterical.
This is bananas. You should check.
I believe her name is Suhiana.
Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. All right, those are my ice up picks. This is C3 Panthers Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Every Tuesday night, we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. Thank you to all our listeners. If you're wherever you're listening, share it. Let us know. Just get in touch with us. Be a part of the community. Cody Lack, can you take us out of here? Happy birthday again, CK.
Hey, I appreciate it. Nowhere I'd rather be spending the last few minutes of my day of mourning. I didn't ask to be born, so anyway.
Oh my
I'm just kidding. Anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate everybody wishing me a happy birthday. It's been great, and I'm so thankful that Greg graced us with his presence on this special day.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you,
Greg.
Greg.
Happy to have you back on the show also, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, C3 Nation, you already know what we're going to do. Keep pounding.